all set. Good morning, Kim. How are you? I was all set to start the live, and then I got a notification that Jimothy was actually live giving his speech. All right. And so then I was like, okay, let me take a look and see what he's talking about. And I listened for about 15 to 20 minutes, and it's bad. It's bad, guys. Hey, Joanna. It's bad. Like, I don't understand the same people that said Sleepy Joe and denigrated Joe Biden for his so-called cognitive decline, because he has a speech impediment, and also he's constantly someone who, hey Lumi over on Twitch, I see you. He's someone that often used to mix his words and slip up and blah 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 blah, right? But then they listen to Donald Trump speak, and there's no question, no delay, no like, nope, he's good, he's sharp. But I listen to him talk about what he wants on the world stage. I listen to him lie. I listen to him call Greenland Iceland, and talk about like how, we want that land and all this other stuff. And I sit back and I think to myself, like, what happened? Colin, this is definitely going to be a full stream. What happened to the people that used to like hold or somehow be upset that Biden couldn't put together sentences, right? And Donald Trump is like rambling, like not only just rambling, but to the point where not he mixes things up, but he doesn't make sense, and he contradicts himself pretty much all the time he's speaking. And the first thing that I originally wanted to talk about when I got on, hey Lauren, the first thing that I originally wanted to talk about was the massive hit that the stock market took yesterday. I think the stock market lost 1.8, $1.9 trillion, some insane amount of gains, completely wiped out because Donald Trump's back and forth with Europe about taking Greenland, and how like the EU, is gonna like hit the US back and all this other stuff. That's what I wanted to talk about because that's a big deal. But like listening to him speak, not only is he an embarrassment on the world stage, right? I mean, he did this yesterday. Your Costco stock, yeah, bazooka. And not only did he do this yesterday, right? He rambled for so long that the BBC, who were broadcasting his actual speech, they cut the speech short. But now he's on the world stage, which the president of the United States is always on the world stage, so that's not like a shocker. But he's on the world stage, and this man is supposed to represent the United States of America, and he's showing nothing but weakness and instability. And this reflects on us as Americans. And it's not like we have the best reputation globally anyway. Yeah, no, I was listening. That's why I was saying I was supposed to be live at the top of the hour, but I had to flip off because it was fucking wild. We don't have the best reputation globally, but what he's doing, not only through his actions but his words, wild. Like yesterday, he put out on Truth Social. At first, he said the reason why we need Greenland, the reason why we would take Greenland is because we have to take it before China or Russia takes it because they're the enemy. And then shortly afterwards said that China and Russia aren't really the real enemies, it's NATO. Right? How much longer? I'm just getting started. Haven't even did it yet. Just getting started. But he said these things and he just completely contradicts himself. And the only thing that I can think about is like Trump supporters, MAGA. You all did this, right? Like this one's on you, solely on you. You made the decision to vote for someone and put someone in office that is the oldest president to ever be sworn in. The oldest president to ever be sworn in. You guys wanted to own the libs so bad that you were willing to burn everything down just to feel better about yourself. That's fucking wild. Also, let's not forget about the misogynoir, because of course you couldn't vote for the black woman. Of course not. That would be a bridge too far. That would be too much to actually vote for the black woman, right? Like having the black woman represent you. That's a bridge too far, but not a 34 count felon, not an adjudicated rapist, not, a fraudster, a con man, not someone who has no moral compass, who treats the people around him like garbage. That's not the bridge too far. But the bridge too far is a black woman. Yeah, hey, Trents, whatever. Yeah, listen, I'm gonna mute you, Bub, because one, you don't get to yip yap in my chat. You must be new here. You don't get to run your mouth in my chat. You can get in the box, right, and we can debate, but you don't get to run your mouth in my chat. It doesn't work that way. This is not your safe space. Listen, MAGA Trump supporters, I know that you guys think that you can find a safe space, but it's not here. Not here, not right now, especially. Not after your daddy is showing his poop-covered ass in front of the world, as I sit here as well. So you can get in the box. We're going to get into it. Guys, if you could tap the screen, share the live. Let's go ahead and get the likes up to 15,000 likes. Also, send your daily heart me if you have not done so. It's only one coin. It will boost the live and help push us out to the FYP. Reshare the live. I'm sorry, share the live like once or twice, not a lot, but repost the live. That's huge. Repost the live. Also, knock out the daily gift goal. Right now, it's the love you very much. And I'm going to keep resetting the daily gift goal to these little 1 cent gift goals to get us pushed out to the FYP. But I think more now than ever, the more that Donald Trump speaks, the more the Republican Party has power and continues to inflict harm on people, the more they prove my background right, that it's time for a woman. It's time for a woman to lead the country, because we men have destroyed this country in multiple ways. And it's not about left or right. It's literally about the actual men that have destroyed this country. Yes, this current administration is doing the heavy lifting when it comes to destroying it. You said soft male, cool, oxygen. Let's see how soft you are. I'm going to go ahead and mute you. Get up here. Come debate me. Let's find out how soft you are. I know you won't do it, but let's see. I know you won't do it, but let's see. And I think a woman would actually give us an opportunity for some type of redemption arc, right? I think a woman would actually give the United States the ability to not only heal in multiple ways, but to get back on track. Because we're on the brink of World War III. Our economy is absolutely floundering. People are losing their rights. Men, the fragile ego is destroying everything. And last but not least, I do want to call this out, because some people feel like in order to have a woman president, we have to saddle her with a white man VP, and we just don't. We don't need that. We don't need that. They don't need that. Not at all. The majority of control in our country has all been dictated by white men, and it's not necessary. period. So if you're a Trump supporter, or if you disagree with something on the background, get in the box. We're only looking for some debates. But one, remember, you crash out, you lose. It's on the background. You crash out, you lose. But get in the box, because I want to hear you defend your daddy.
You stepped in the box. Now you're in the ring. Ain't no hugs here. You better take your best swing. Mike Hot, who wanna step in the flame? This ain't a debate, this a mind game. Facts type lies, get left in chain. One wrong word, you slapped out your name. This ain't TikTok TV, nope. It's a war zone talk. Yep. No script, no filter, nope. No safe walk. What? Stats will get scrambled like a glitch. I got fire in my mouth like I came from the pit. Yeah, step in if you dare. Truth hit hard like a punch in the air. Ain't no rules, no plan, no script. One wrong move, get cooked real quick. No cap, no shield. Better know your stuff or you get revealed. Step in, don't you wanna? Sparring with Santana. I don't care what you claim or your background. Facts only, if not, get clapped down. Whether you're left or right or you don't even vote. If your logic is weak, I'll sink your boat. Hey. You talk slick, but you ain't got source. No. Just vibes, that ain't power, that's force. Yes. I'm the test, the trap, the trip, the call. Hey. You step once, I'm snatching it all. Lego. Step in if you dare. You dare. Get hard like a punch in the air. Punch in the air. Ain't no rules, no plan, no script. Yeah. One wrong move, get cooked real quick. No cap, no shield. No, better know your stuff or you get revealed. Step in, don't you wanna? Sparring with Santana. Step in, if you dare. You care. Hit hard like a punch in the air. Ain't no rules, no plan, no script. Yeah. One wrong move, get cooked real quick. No cap, no shield. Better know your stuff or you get revealed. Step in, don't you wanna? Sparring with Santana. Yeah. This ain't a safe place.
It is not.
This is flame space.
It absolutely is.
Sparring with Santana.
Hey. Da-da. Guys, welcome in. This is Sparring with Santana, one-on-one debates with Trump supporters or anyone that disagrees with anything on the background. I am Santana. We are only looking for some debates, and I want to actually get this thing moving. I think this is the perfect time to ensure that we are building the future that we want, the future that we need, the country that we always claim to be. Ronald Reagan, right? Ronald Reagan, the devil incarnate, but for people on the right, the greatest president of all time for them until, for some reason, Jimothy has taken that title. But Ronald Reagan called the United States of America the shining city on a hill, right? Speaking to the actual premise that the United States of America is the country where everyone should strive to not only get to, but every country should strive to become. The only way that we can make that type of traction, the only way that we can actually get to that point is if we elect a woman. We had the most qualified candidate to ever seek the office of the presidency for a first term, Kamala Devi Harris. We had the possibility and the potential, the best a woman leading the country, a woman planned for everything, a woman that was going to ensure that everyone got an opportunity at a better life, not someone that was going to grift off the American people, not someone that was going to punish the people that they felt like did them wrong, not someone that was going to, just target others. But we missed out on that. So with that being said, you said, blah, 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 blah. Let's get into the debates. Yeah. Hey, I'm going to mute you. Sure. Let's get into the debates. I just sent you a request. You said blah 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 blah. Let's get into the debates. Cool, cool, cool. I just muted you and sent you an invite. Let's get into the debates. Get in the box. Get in the box. If you're so worried about getting into the debates, then you be tribute. I know you won't. That's what I thought. That's exactly what I thought. Anyway, if you disagree with something on the background, or if you're a Trump supporter, get in the box. We are only looking for some debates. Please do not request up if you are friendly. We are not talking to friendlies. Mercy, are you a Trump supporter or someone that disagrees with something on the background? Mercy Rod, are you a Trump supporter or someone that disagrees with something on the background? I'll take that as a no. Take that as a no. Yeah. So, World War III, Donald Trump's alienating our allies. Donald Trump is, you're not a Trump supporter. You just said blah, blah, blah. Let's get to the debates. Anyway, Donald Trump has threatened our allies, so much so to Greenland just notified their citizens to be prepared for a possible invasion, right? European countries have sent troops to Greenland to help fortify Greenland. And yeah. Yeah, but blah, blah, blah is the whole thing. Anyway, yesterday, the stock market took a over $1 trillion plunge because of those very threats. I would be remiss if I didn't talk about the infringement of rights when it comes to ICE, what they're doing, the infringement of rights as far as stripping away protections for women, queer people, for people of color, just everyone. And it's all because Donald Trump's ego is out of control. That's what it's about.
Brother, you dance.
Only request up if you're a Trump supporter or disagree with something on the background. We're only looking for some debates. Only request up if you're a Trump supporter or disagree with something on the background. We are only looking for some debates. Something I want to talk about, right, is Donald Trump, because he said this again today, right? He mentioned this because now he's talking about, well, oh, I'm not going to actually, we're not going to actually invade Greenland. He had to say that. He had to make sure that it was known that he's not going to invade Greenland. But what they did do, apparently, is make an offer to purchase Greenland, right? Donald Trump made an offer to purchase Greenland, and apparently the offer was something like a $1 trillion, right? $1 trillion, and the estimate somehow is that Greenland is worth $700 billion. And so they're saying like, oh, not only are we willing to purchase Greenland for $1 trillion, Donald Trump, the Trump administration, while we have Americans that are unable to get access to healthcare, we got Americans who can't buy food. We have rising prices. We have people here in our country suffering because of this administration, because of their decisions, because of everything that they're actually looking to do that is actively harming everyday Americans. They want to purchase Greenland, and at the same time, they're offering to pay the citizens of Greenland. You heard that right. Yes. They want to purchase Greenland and then also pay the citizens of Greenland. That's the interesting part. Now, the numbers that I've heard, or not heard, but the numbers that I've seen, they've been kind of all over the place. Let me see if I can find the exact numbers, because let's see here. The numbers have been all over the place as far as what the deal would be. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna have to see where that is, but they offered, well, from what I'm saying, they're offering like 6 figures to the citizens of Greenland in order to purchase Greenland as well. So it's a bunch of wild stuff. Hi, Trump's best man. Are you a Trump supporter or disagree with something on the background?
It was supposed to go to the address is on there.
Trump's best man?
Different city. It's supposed to go to Greenland.
I don't know what's going on. You're there, but not there. Can you hear me?
She said she confirmed it twice with whoever she spoke with. And
okay, I'm gonna drop you down. If you hear me, you can request back up and we can go from there. Yeah, that was weird. But I find it funny that not only are they looking to make this purchase, but also pay the citizens of Greenland without taking care of the United States citizens. And even funnier, right? The citizens of Greenland, I saw this interview where one of the citizens was talking about like, hey, why would we want to join the United States of America? And she was like, look at us. We're not white. She said, we're indigenous people. We're brown. And we see what they're doing to Black and brown people in that country. They're going to do that to us. Reggie, you said, oh, because you don't have a choice. Cool. You know what you don't have a choice to do? You don't have a choice to yip yap in my chat. Get in the box. Get in the box. Trump supporters, MAGA, you guys should know the deal by now. You should know that I don't let you run your mouth in my chat. Either you get in the box or you get muted. I don't play those games. You can't be a coward and run your mouth. You can be a coward, but you got to stay silent. You can run your mouth, but it has to be on the panel. You got to pick a struggle. You got to pick a struggle. But the premise that even people all around the world, when this administration has been so adamant about acquiring Greenland, and even so much to say like, hey, we'll offer you money. They're like, we don't want your money. We see how you treat your people. What good is the money if you're harming your people? Because they know, I know, we know. You're not special. You're just next. That's the point. That's the point. You're not special. You're just next. And I think that anyone that doesn't understand that, that's a you problem. One other thing that I did want to talk about as well, something super interesting. I don't know why, but like they were spamming like, oh, let me up from the beginning. And anytime someone's spamming like let me up, it's usually because they want a STR. Santana trademark. What up, solid? Anytime they actually spam and like let me up, they want to run, and I'm not gonna do that. Anyway, Donald Trump and this administration is screwing us over. Something else interesting that I found, and I wanted to make sure that I got an opportunity to talk about this, is Donald Trump has been pardoning people left and right, right? I mean, that's been something that's been at the forefront of who he is and what he does. Pardons. That's not Solid's. I texted Solid last night and I told him that someone gave it to me. So like, that's mine now. Donald Trump has been pardoning people left and right, and Donald Trump has pardoned people that have scammed, defrauded. Oh, he is replacing. Yeah, I already knew that was going to be his pick. The CEO of BlackRock is going to be the next head of the Fed. MAGA, I could have sworn that you guys said that the left were the party of the elites. I could have sworn you guys said that the left was the party of the elites. Right? You say that, but then Donald Trump puts 18 billionaires into his cabinet and now elects the CEO of BlackRock as the new head of the Fed. That doesn't bother you? To answer your question on YouTube. Hold on, give me a second. I hadn't looked over. I apologize. W's in the chat for Shannon for the using the monthly chat to say I had to stop listening as well. He's talking about stock markets. It's about to double. Nonsense. Yes, absolute nonsense. W's in the chat for Air, who sent a $9.99 super chat to say, do you think it's enough? Do you really think Trump is coherent enough to plan something like this? I think Stephen Miller or Peter Thiel is running the entire show. Trump is just the face of the movement. I've always said that Trump is a useful idiot. That's it. Donald Trump is a useful idiot, and he will continue to be a useful idiot until he's no longer useful. Like, Donald Trump has made many deals when it comes to himself, right? Completely made many deals. And his first term, the deal that he made with the evangelical community and with the Heritage Foundation is, hey, if you guys get the Christian vote for me, if you can power me to the presidency, then I will appoint Supreme Court justices that will overturn Roe, right? That had been something that the Heritage Foundation had fought for about 50 to 60 years. The Heritage Foundation put a full court press and a plan in place to overturn Roe for years and years and years. And they could never get someone that would actually be willing to do that bidding and pull the trigger until Donald Trump, and he made that deal. They helped power him to the White House with the Christian vote. And he then appointed, of course, Supreme Court justices that were willing to overturn Roe. The second deal that he made was with these techno billionaires. If you help me get into, this is a debate, but everyone's too scared to get in the box. The second deal that Donald Trump made was, hey, if you guys help me get reelected to keep me out of jail, I'll make you guys even more rich. They help him get reelected, and he's lining their pockets. So Donald Trump's a useful idiot. W's in the chat for Anthony for the $5 donation saying Santana Eastern Standard Time is the best. No, it's not. West Coast is the best coast. Hold it. West Coast is the best coast. W's in the chat for Anthony. Guys, if anyone else like to support the live, you can do so. Cash App, PayPal, Venmo. Pay links and Linktree in the bio. Santana speaks for you. Best way to support the live. Everything's accepted and things appreciated. If you're over on the YouTube, you can send a super chat. I will read that out. Tap the screen, guys. Let's get the likes up to 75,000 likes. I'm going to keep resetting the daily gift goal. Hopefully, we will get a Trump supporter who has a little bit of testicular fortitude. I doubt it. A little bit of testicular fortitude to get in the box so we can actually get to the debates, because there is a need to fix this country. And I know for a fact that the only person that can fix this country is a woman. Men have failed us. We have failed. I think it's time for the women. One thing that I was saying as far as what I wanted to make sure that I covered with you guys was the amount of money that we've lost out on with Donald Trump's pardons, right? American Advocate, you come here every day. I told you, you are a persona non grata. You are not getting access to my platform. You can leave, not letting you up. The amount of money that we have lost due to Donald Trump's pardons. And what do I mean by that? Donald Trump has pardoned criminals who have defrauded and stolen money from United States citizens. They've hurt people. They've caused chaos, and they have to pay restitution, right? But when Donald Trump has issued these pardons, it's canceled their debt. And it's canceled debt to the tune of $1.2 trillion in restitution. $1.2 trillion in restitution. Donald Trump has pardoned so many people that people are going to lose out on $1.2 trillion of them paying things back. Hi, are you a Trump supporter or disagree with something?
No, I was literally replying back to your moderator because I was like, oh, I'm going to role play as a Trump supporter. He said nope, and I was like, oh, I was just kidding. If I did, I'd lose some brain cells.
Oh, okay.
No, you're good. Keep doing what you're doing.
$1.2 trillion, and it's all to the tune of people that have stolen money from American citizens, right? But Donald Trump claims to be America first. Donald Trump claims to care about American citizens. Donald Trump claims that he actually wants to, quote unquote, make America great again. How can you make America great again while allowing people to harm American citizens and taking away restitution that is owed? At the same time that he's pardoning these people and canceling out this $1.2 trillion worth of debt, he's at the same time telling American citizens, hey, you guys got to pay back your student loans. Give me that money. Give me the money for the student loans. And if you don't give me that money, I will garnish your pay. I will take it. Literally, I will take it. All at the same time, helping criminals. And a report that just came out that within Donald Trump's first year in office, he's received cash and gifts that has totaled an amount of $1.8 billion. Not the actual acquisition of wealth, like cash and gifts total $1.5 billion. Hi, honey, are you a Trump supporter or disagree with something on the background?
Oh shit! That was an accident. I'm sorry.
Okay, no worries. I'll drop you down. G-Balls, I just muted you and sent you a request. Get up here. Get up here. Hey, Marie. Hi to Ireland. Hi to Ireland. Donald Trump has received $1.8 billion in cash and gifts. That doesn't speak to the over $5 billion added to his net worth, but just through cash and gifts. How is this okay, MAGA? Trump supporters, how is this okay? How are you good with this? How is anyone watching what's happening and watching this administration, this president, line their pockets, and you're like, you know what? I'm okay with that. That makes sense. And there was another, what was it, Forbes, I think, put out the article talking about how Americans finally realize that due to tariffs that they're paying higher costs. No shit, Sherlock. We told you before you voted for the 34 count felon, the adjudicated rapist, the con artist, the fraudster, the man that literally, him and his family literally stole from kids with cancer, sorry. And we told you guys when he said that tariffs were going to make us rich, it doesn't work that way. But Trump supporters were so unwilling, maybe stupid, unwilling to actually take the time to look up what is a tariff. They just believed him. They literally just said, yep, that sounds right. Whatever a tariff is, it's going to make us rich. And now they get it. And now they understand. And now it makes sense. It's not the tariffs. We paid the tariffs. Yeah, we told you that. But you were too busy trying to own the libs. You were too busy. You wanted to own the libs, not understanding that you're a lib. MAGA, you're a liberal. Trump supporters, you're a liberal. That's you, bub. Also, let's not forget that now Donald Trump is talking about, you guys know that Donald Trump was saying that Americans were going to receive that $2,000 check, right? That $2,000 check from tariffs. And then they talked about possibly getting that $2,000 check as far as a tax credit when it was tax time. He's now saying that that's not going to happen. That's not happening. But is that shocking? Because what happened to the Doge check? We're still waiting on the Doge check. Hell, Blaga specifically is still waiting for another stimulus check. Blaga thought that if they voted for Trump, they were going to get another stimulus check, not understanding how shit works. And that's why we are where we are today. That's why, listen, I'm going to keep it real. I'm going to absolutely keep it funky. And I say this with my full chest. And I say this knowing that I'm talking about me as well. I think we need to take the right for men to vote away for a while, at least for a couple of cycles, and let's see what happens. Big Appetite, are you a Trump supporter or disagree with something on the background?
I am a Trump supporter for the most part, yeah.
Okay, all right, perfect. Big Appetite. We're going to get into it, but really quick before we go too far, I have a quick question for you, if you don't mind.
Please.
Do you know who I am?
No.
Okay, cool. No worries. Listen, would you mind if I give you a quick introduction to not only who I am, but what this is?
Absolutely. Please go ahead.
Perfect. 1 moment.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the main event. Let's get ready to rumble!
Y'all ready for this?
Guys, welcome in. This is Sparring with Santana, one-on-one debates with Trump supporters or anyone that disagrees with anything on the background. I am Santana, and if you actually disagree, get in the box. We are only looking for some debates. If you're a Trump supporter or you disagree with something on the background, get in the box. If you're friendly, tap the screen, share the live. I'm going to keep resetting the daily gift goal to these little 1-cent gift goal to help push us out to the FYP. Send your daily heart me. Also, give me a follow. We're on the road to 80,000 followers on the main account. So make sure you drop a follow. Look up at the top. You see the word follow. You're not following me. With that being said, Big Appetite. I got well, not necessarily a question for you. My premise is I think a woman would absolutely lead this country better than any type of leadership that we've had. I think that the fact that Donald Trump and his administration is highlighting why male leadership, why men in leadership has been an absolute failure. What on the background do you think that you disagree with the most that you could stand on business and actually defend about why I'm wrong about this?
Well, I would like to approach the core of what you said. I think the points on the panel are a bit like, they're so ambiguous. It's a bit like it's hard to approach, right? Like when I see World War III loading, I have a point of contention, like looking upon the interests of China, the interests of Russia within the Ukrainian war, so forth. I do apologize. I'm getting all over the place, but I would assume as much, if I can be so direct. I would assume you're a liberal person, someone who's against Trump.
No, I'm not liberal. I'm a leftist. Also, a question for you: are you an American citizen, or do you live in the U.S.?
No.
Okay, what country are you in?
Romania.
And tell me why you support Trump from Romania.
I believe that Trump is a bit of a hard case. When I look upon his actions with Venezuela and I see the reaction of the Venezuelan people, I can't look upon that as being lesser than positive, because I see so many people from Venezuela like appreciating and respecting that Maduro is brought into chains, and maybe it will be like an upbringing for Venezuela to be a newfound country. And how? I hope and
like right? Logically speaking, how?
Well, Maduro has been leading a dictatorship in Venezuela for the over part of the 2 decades. I lived in UK. I've had colleagues from Venezuela, and they always spoke poorly of Maduro.
Sure.
And if Maduro is to be brought to a point of contention, like where he's a prisoner, or if by any measure not a dictator, then maybe Venezuela can rise up again and be a better person.
Question for you though, right? If we were looking to have some type of real change, right? If there was an actual opportunity for something different, right? Wouldn't there need to be an actual shift in leadership, right? Wouldn't there need to be like some actual premise of not just Maduro because he's the head of the snake, but the entire regime? Because you do understand the only thing that they actually did was remove Maduro while keeping everything else in place.
Fair. That is fair for you to say that. And if you remove one agent, someone will take his place. That is a fair point to make. But as it stands right now, you have the population who is anti the Maduro regime, who's anti the dictatorial environment, and maybe they will bring up some form of democratic environment. Obviously, Venezuela has great access to oil, right? And I can't recall the name of the oil rig in America, but there is a point of contention where people from Venezuela will find fruit, they will find positivity from Maduro being brought back. And I have seen videos,
like
maybe
the problem I have with this is, I mean, you're basically trading one dictator for the other. Not only talking about the Maduro regime that's still in power, even though Maduro is not there. Donald Trump is literally sitting here saying that, like, we're going to own Venezuela. We're going to run Venezuela. We don't know how long. We're going to manage. We're going to do this. We're going to do that. So they're not only changing, they're not changing the structure, the governmental structure. They're not implementing democracy. They're not actually doing anything. They just removed one person, elevated another person, and then took on another leader as well in the United States. So I don't know. I think it's kind of a moot point. Anyway, like, I just want to understand where you were coming from, and even more so, like, why you support Donald Trump from Romania. But what I'm going to do is just actually go ahead and move on. I think the fact that you, while I appreciate you wanting to come up and engage in some type of debate, standing on the premise of being a Trump supporter where you don't even live in the country that you're supporting this from, like, I don't sit here and say, oh, I'm a supporter of the Prime Minister of Canada. Like, that's weird. Quiet Storm, are you a Trump supporter or someone that disagrees with something on the background?
Hello. I appreciate you, bro.
Thank you. Guys, please only request up if you are a Trump supporter or you disagree with something on the background. We are only looking for some debates. Only request up if you are a Trump supporter or you disagree with something on the background. We are only looking for some debates. With that being said, tap the screen. You need to be a citizen. You need to at least live in the United States of America. Like, yes, I understand the United States of America, geopolitics, we live in a small world, and the things that happens here in the U.S. massively affects other countries. I get that. But the premise behind my debate is challenging the school of thoughts for the people that have the ability to affect change immediately, meaning the people that have the ability to vote, right? Especially we have the midterm elections coming up soon in this year, and making sure that we challenge that school of thought in order to somehow get people out to the polls to allow Trump, or to get some type of checks and balances when it comes to Trump's power, like it's necessary. And then talking about 2028, Kat, are you a Trump supporter or someone that disagrees with some? I guess not. What do you mean by fragile egos? What do I mean by fragile egos? The most fragile thing on earth is the male ego. That's what I mean. That's what I mean. Men are literally emotional. It's just weird. I'll leave it there. If you disagree, then you can come up and we can talk about it. I can tell you why having men lead our country is You know, it's funny. The reason why when I do these debates, and I debate a lot of different type of people. Hell, I debate Nazis. I debate people who like, oh, I'm not MAGA, I'm Republican, I'm conservative. I debate people that say, I don't really support Trump, but I like what he's doing here. I like what he's doing there. And I would say, if I had to guess, I don't like putting numbers on things that I can't completely quantify, but if I had to guess, about 90% of the people that I actually debate, men, right? And the reason being is because their ideology is being challenged. Their beliefs are being challenged. They're willing to actually come up here and defend something, even when they don't have any facts or information, even when they don't have any substance. They're willing to come up here and they do a couple of different things. Either they say the same thing that they know isn't true, right? Perfect example. I ended up on Swan's panel last night with the guy War Platypus, who I debated like 24, 48 hours before, like not long. And he got up on the panel, on Swan's panel, talking about ICE, repeating the exact same shit that I had already debunked him on, like the exact same shit, just repeating it. Even down to calling himself, quote unquote, mix. Fucking weird. Yaga, are you a Trump supporter or someone that disagrees with something on the background?
No. Well, yes, I'm a Trump supporter. No, I don't really have any strong feelings on what's on the background. But I was gonna ask you some questions about Greenland. You don't remember me though, huh? I had a 2-hour-long discussion with you a couple of weeks ago. You filled me in on the Lincoln Riley Act. Not ringing bells.
No, right, I'm sorry. My memory isn't the best. So, but
that's fine. Neither here nor there. But I did want to holler at you about Greenland. So I don't know a whole lot about the information in particulars, but I do know American presidents have been trying to get Greenland for quite some time. I'm the whole missile defense thing that Trump's talking about building. I don't really know if I buy that. I think the reason that it's wanted is more the rare earth minerals that are in it.
Yeah,
because 95% of our rare earth minerals come from China to date, and that's what makes up our drones, our missiles, our key components for aircraft. So I know that we need a supply of rare earth minerals really bad strategically for our military, and that would be an excellent location. But I do understand that Greenland is a cornerstone of that area of the world, and it's an excellent platform to be defensively strategic from. Although from what I understood, we were already there in at least in some capacity, more than just a token being there. Like I believe the capacity is quite significant. But I was curious to get your opinion on this, as last time I spoke to you, you educated me quite a bit.
Yeah. So the premise, as far as I agree with you, I think that the thought behind why Donald Trump or the United States of America wants Greenland is definitely rooted in being able to access the rare earth minerals, right? We understand the desire to be able to cut ties in a lot of ways with China and other dependencies that we have. I know that's also why like the actions that are occurring with Venezuela have happened as well, right? And so it's all connected. What I will say is that, yeah, I mean, like there have been a couple of times throughout the United States history in 1910 where there were conversations around purchasing Greenland, but it was never anything substantial. They just kind of poked around the margins. In 1946, apparently the United States offered about $100 million to try to purchase Greenland. And that was the only actual first attempt to get Greenland. So there has been conversations, but there's never been an actual situation like we face today with Donald Trump and his administration, where he's willing to actually alienate our alliances to try to steal or take something and then threaten and then say like, oh, we're gonna add tariffs and we're gonna do this and that and whatever. Like there's never been a instance of this, especially with someone who or a country that is aligned with the United States of America. He's literally threatening to torpedo NATO because he wants Greenland.
Well, okay. I mean, that I would say that that's very accurate. But is he wrong for doing this? In what capacity is he wrong?
He's wrong because Greenland belongs to Denmark. There's an agreement with Denmark. Denmark is a sovereign country. It's part of the Danish territory, and Denmark is also an ally of the United States of America. They're literally just trying to take land from an ally of America.
I completely concur. I completely agree with that assessment. But in my opinion, from what I've seen so far, it's a valid want. It's something that we probably should really have, or at least the mineral rights to Greenland is something we should have. And using the tools available other than war, such as tariffs and trade agreements and things like that, I believe that's definitely a step in the right direction for how Trump normally behaves, instead of the bullish, thuggish approach. I mean,
do you understand consent?
Well, yes, of course.
You sure?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Absolutely.
So, without going too far, because I don't want to sit up here and pontificate about consent as if I'm, a complete expert. There's people that explain consent like way better than me. Like for anyone who has never heard like Peach or Ari talk about like what consent is and have them like break down consent completely, like both of them amazing. But the point that I'm trying to get to is like that Donald Trump has been persistent about his actual desire to take Greenland, to acquire Greenland. They've made offers to purchase Greenland. The people of Greenland have said no. The Danish prime minister has said no. Actually, I think yesterday his exact words were to Donald Trump, "Fuck off." Right? Literally.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah. And so while the United States of America may want something, it doesn't give us the right to take something. Right. And so unless there's some type of deal that's willing to be made, in which they've continued to be persistent that there's no deal to be made. They don't want to give up Greenland, and the citizens are openly saying they don't want to be a part of the United States. Have you heard what's coming out of Greenland as far as the citizens, what they're saying?
Not much, to tell you the truth. I know they're against it. I know they made.
You know why they're against it?
Statements. Well, I've heard some. I have not spoken to any citizen of Greenland or seen anything from their news. I've heard people say that it has to do with how certain groups are treated in the U.S.
Yes,
I've heard.
You're spot on.
I've heard also that there were things about them not thinking they'd be equal citizens, and I also heard things of land ownership would be taken from them. I heard those were the three things that primarily the number one reason I heard was how people of certain groups are treated in this nation.
Yeah. They made a point of saying, like a couple of different interviews, and one specifically that stuck out to me was a woman that was speaking and talking about how as a indigenous person, they're not white, right? They don't look like the white people in America, and they see what is happening to Black and brown people here in the United States of America, and they're like, why would we want to be a part of that? They're literally sitting there saying, we don't want to be a part of that. They also said, we saw what they did to the indigenous people as far as like killing them and taking their land. And even to today, they don't actually treat indigenous people with the respect that they deserve. And so they don't want any part of that. But yeah, you're also right as far as like, I mean, think about how Puerto Rico is treated, right? Like,
Okay.
do you think the people from Puerto Rico should be able to come to the United States?
Absolutely.
Why?
Because they're a U.S. territory.
Perfect. I wanted to make sure you know that. Most people that support Donald Trump don't know that Puerto Ricans are American. Like they literally don't know that, right? And so they actually bash Puerto Rico. They bash the people of Puerto Rico. Even Donald Trump said that he had a meeting with the president of Puerto Rico. Right? So if the territories that we already have under our, purview or whatever, if the people are disrespected, if the people aren't treated right and they're second class citizens, then why should the people of Greenland think that like, oh, it's going to be any different for them? I mean, again, they're not white and they're not directly in the United States of America. Hell, Trump doesn't even treat the people that are in the United States of America like first-class citizens. I mean, you can go back to his first administration where he specifically didn't even want to send FEMA funds to California during the wildfires because he said California didn't vote for him. And people had to convince him like and remind him like, hey, Republicans voted for you in California and they live there too. Like Donald Trump doesn't care about American citizens. Why would he care about the actual citizens of Greenland?
Well, again, those are valid points. But ultimately, I guess I'm on this side of the argument. First, can we establish some basis before I speak? Do you believe that America has a right to defend itself?
Yeah.
Do you think that right and ability to defend itself supersedes the rights and needs of other countries?
No.
Okay. Right there is where we disagree. I think our defense should come first.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't support any type of mistreatment of anyone. Mm-hmm. I would only be in favor of forcing a deal if people's rights were protected. Mm-hmm. But I don't believe that like a deal breaker should happen because people are not on board with it. Yeah. You know, but I also don't know that possession of the land or them becoming citizens is a requirement of a deal, you know, that needs to be made. If all we're after is strategic positioning and the rare earth minerals, then we could force some type of agreement for that with trade embargoes and things of that nature and use leverage to do that to get the things that we are strategically after. I don't know that the land has to be conquered, so to speak, for that. Mm-hmm. But that is what I would support. But I do understand and respect your position that people do have the right to do what they want, to be their own people, and that should matter. It definitely should. Mm-hmm. But there's always going to be a line somewhere when you have two disagreeing parties. Yeah. Where does that line lie for us, where we can say, all right, that's enough of enough. This is what we need. We're going to take it. Mm. Where does that line exist for you? Where do you say that line exists?
I don't think that us imposing ourselves on other people because we feel like something is necessary is acceptable, especially not when it comes to allies. I think it's a different conversation if it's, a conflict and we are taking when it comes to engaging in, war or whatever the case may be with someone who is not or who's an enemy. But specifically using these tactics on allies is something that breaks international trust. The thing that I think a lot of people don't understand is that it's not about the short term when it comes to allies. It's about the long term, right? It's about the amount of time that the country will be around versus the current time that leadership is in power. And like the United States of America, we sway back and forth so much that from one administration to the other, the actual messaging changes and all this other stuff. And so the things that should always be intact is the agreements that we make on the international stage, because we can change the things that we do consistently in our country. It's not good. It's not beneficial to American citizens, but causing instability on a global level because we can't uphold treaties or agreements or things like that, that jeopardizes not only the standing that we have around the world, but it creates an infrastructure where there's no dependability, and it forces other people into certain alliances like Canada and China, now specifically creating a direct alliance, Canada and Mexico creating a waterway that supersedes the United States of America so they don't have to drive through the country. Like all of these things, China and Argentina. Right now, Argentina is selling China the soybeans where they used to come from the United States of America. All of these things create global instability, and that's harmful on a larger scale versus like what's happening in the short term. But question for you, what do you think? Where do you stand when it comes to like Russia, Ukraine? Do you think that Russia has the right to Ukraine?
Oh, see, that's a kind of a touchy subject too. Ultimately, I guess the answer would be no. I understand why they feel that they did, because of the existing area was part of the Soviet bloc and it was part of their infrastructure, and the citizens of Russia were equally connected monetarily and defensively with the areas of that world. But I think the time that they gave it up when they just decommissioned the Soviet Union, the time was too great of a span where if they wanted something to happen with that land, then they should have done it sooner. And then I probably would have supported it more.
Okay.
Now,
okay.
the
That's
area of Ukraine.
Wait, so hold on. Let me stay right there for a second then. So what's the difference between what Russia's doing with Ukraine and what the United States is trying to do with Greenland? Because, I mean, even by your own stance, Russia has more of a claim to Ukraine than the United States has to Greenland. So if you can't get behind what Russia's doing with Ukraine, then how are you getting behind what the United States is doing with Greenland?
Well, for two main key reasons, I think that there's a significant difference. One, the area of Ukraine, although this could be argued too, depending on how you look at base structures and whatnot, there is no key strategic military defense necessary for them to conquer that land. And
conquer what land? Which one are you referring
to take the portion of Ukraine that they want.
They want all of Ukraine. They're saying that they want the Donbass, but they want all of Ukraine.
Well, yeah, I think ultimately they would like that. But where their hard line is, where they won't negotiate past, where their fail-safe line is, where they say we must have this. Even if they were to take all of Ukraine, the argument still stands. There's no truly significant strategic reason for owning that region other than monetary reasons. It doesn't contribute
for
to
Russia or for the United States?
For Russia.
Okay. No. No, do you know why they specifically want the Donbass and even more so why they want like the rest of Ukraine?
Well, I was under the and if I'm wrong, I'll admit it, but this is what I was under the impression, that in the years leading up to the invasion from Russia, Ukraine had built several military bases that would have swapped over to being NATO bases all along the border of Russia. And I think they put 4, possibly 5, or built 4. We're working on a 5th. I don't know the exact particulars, but a number of bases went up along that borderline, which when they became a NATO country would have been NATO bases. And they wanted to move that back.
No, I mean, like they've always blamed NATO, right? They've always said like NATO's the reason. It's NATO. We got NATO. Like NATO, they're coming for us. NATO. It's not NATO. It's access to the Black Sea. It's literally access to the Black Sea, which gives them access to the Kerch Strait, I think that's called. But then it goes through, and they have ports that connect to the Mediterranean Sea. It's literally something that would not only improve their economy in massive stance, but also their military ability. So it's not about just like, oh, this is our land or da 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 da. Like it's all about the access to the ports, and that's why they specifically want it.
Well, yeah, I think that's what I was referring to when I was saying the monetary reasons, the amount of natural gas, that's there, having control over that, the significant nuclear presence for power being produced in that region, and also the shipping and seaports is what I believe that they're ultimately after. They're I don't know the correct word. Their subterfuge reason for doing it is the bases. And there was a strategic defensive standpoint, but I don't believe that that's accurate or real.
Okay. Question.
Whereas for Greenland go on.
I know I was just about to go right there. So even if let's say that they wanted to take it for strategic reasons, right? For military reasons, for not only military, but resources, but like strategic reasons. You're still making the claim for Russia to take Ukraine versus the United States taking Greenland. And the reason why I say that is Russia's 80 miles away, right? You know how far Greenland is from the U.S.?
Oh, it's a ways. Exact mileage or no? Yeah.
1,800 miles. So like you've continued to make a case that would say that like Russia has more of a claim to take Ukraine than the United States has a claim to take Greenland, but you don't support Russia, but you do support the United States.
Yes, for a number of reasons.
Is it American exceptionalism?
Honestly, partly, yes.
American exceptionalism is kicking people's ass. Like, I'm not gonna hold you.
In regards to this, Santana, I believe that we have a right to defend ourselves and also a responsibility to do so. And also, when you apply to NATO, it is ultimately the United States military is the backbone of NATO. I mean, the NATO collection or coalition forces that are around are significant forces, and they can occupy a great area of land. They can do many things, but ultimately, when there is a NATO war, without the U.S., NATO isn't that strong. So, for NATO to be strong, the U.S. has to be strong. And when you have something like Greenland, which is strategically placed in the center of the map, and there's a big key significant difference between where we're connected to Russia on Alaska versus where we're connected to Russia on the Greenland side. Okay, that large gap. The difference is the missiles going up and the missiles coming down. Okay, ballistic missiles, when they're going out of the atmosphere, can be easily attacked and shot down because they're not traveling at high rates of speed. They're easy to hit. They're easy to intercept. Once they've reached the atmosphere and are coming back down, they're much harder to intercept and stop. The closer we can get to being able to shoot down missiles from the center of Russia or its western side, our eastern side,
that's not true.
The better and safer we are.
That's not true.
You don't think so?
No. I mean, we understand that like our global satellite defense system is like absolutely best for any type of missiles that are high altitude, right? Coming up and going down. Now, if you were talking about like short range missiles that don't necessarily have to take the trajectory of going up that far and then just going across land. Yes, that would make sense. But we have different military defense systems in place that would actually help protect against that as well. The idea of a quote unquote golden dome is nonsensical because of all of the other defense systems that we currently have in place. And not only talking about the current defense systems that we have in place, but the allyships that we did have, right? That would allow us to be able to respond and stop any type of missiles. I mean, hell, this is the reason why the United States spends about $1 trillion on their military budget, is because we're the only country in the world that has military bases in just about, not all of them, but just about every country in the world. Like, we have military bases all around the world. We have capabilities all around the world. We can respond in anywhere at any time. The thought that we need to take Greenland is asinine for multiple reasons. And the biggest one being is that Denmark is an ally. And if we wanted to, we could increase our military forces in Greenland without taking them. Like we literally have access to increase our military forces there without taking the country. But one question I do have for you though is, you mentioned that the United States is the backbone of NATO, and without the United States, the military response from NATO, there's no basically teeth or whatever. Who's the only country in NATO to actually invoke Article 5?
I don't know that.
The United States of America, after September 11th. The only country that actually called on the powers of NATO and said, hey, we need your help defending our country is the United States of America. This is the only country that's ever used that. But for some reason, our allegiance to NATO has wavered, and the premise that, oh, they need us more than we need them, when we've literally needed them more than they needed us.
Well, just because we've used the button doesn't mean that what I said wasn't true, that we're the teeth of it. We are absolutely, without a doubt, 100% the best chance NATO has for landing in a foreign area, a foreign country, and taking over defenses and taking over structures that exist. I mean, there's no arguing that part.
It is. You know why? The problem with the premise that war, the idea that war would be fought today with actual military force. Yes, there will be some military force. Yes, there's possibility of people actually having boots on the ground and shooting missiles and all this other stuff. But what would happen prior to dropping missiles or anything like that?
Well, I imagine massive trade embargoes and things like that.
No. What would happen before all of that is they would attack our infrastructure. They would attack our electrical grid. They would attack, our actual, internet and all this other stuff, like the actual technology and the ability. That's why counterterrorism and intelligence is so big as far as hackers and our defense system, being able to uphold our grids, our electrical grids and things like that. Those are some of the biggest things. And when you talk about these potential aggressors, they're not just going to come after us with missiles and shooting and all this other stuff first. They're going to literally attack our infrastructure first before they even try to do anything else. And so us not focusing on that. Did you know that when the Trump administration got in power and when Pete Hegseth took over, he reduced the actual, what is it called? We used to do offensive reconnaissance when it comes to what is it called? I guess, for lack of better words, the cybersecurity. Holy shit, cybersecurity. He reduces cybersecurity, the offensive cybersecurity when it comes to Russia, right? As far as us making sure that we are actively trying to ensure that cyber defense. Yep, that Russia doesn't have the ability to come after us. But that's the bigger thing right now, way bigger than saying, oh, we need Greenland. No, we need to worry about our cybersecurity.
Oh, I completely agree with you. That is definitely where we're weakest, and it's most likely to have an effective attack on the U.S. It's just, unfortunately, I don't have the ability to speak with any type of intelligence at all on that topic. It's beyond anything that I know. I'm an older guy, I'm 45 years old. I grew up in the old school era of military tech. I know more about planes and boats and bombs and stuff than I do about cyber attacks. But I completely concur with what you're saying. But I do want to state that I don't think it is necessary for us to actually take ownership of Greenland. That is not something I necessarily support.
I agree.
If it could be done, sure, that would be great. But if we can get a mineral deal and can continue with the deal that's already there for establishing bases, that's all that's necessary.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not even talking about a mineral deal. I'm just talking about honestly, if the actual stance that we need to ensure our safety by utilizing Greenland, then we can pump up our military facilities and troops and everything that's there. But that's not what they want. They don't want that. They want the actual minerals. They want that. Like that's what it is. It's not about defense. It's not about defense. Just like Donald Trump started off saying like, oh, the reason why we need to get into Venezuela is because they're sending the F drug into our country and we need to defend that. And then when people who support him started realizing that the F drug actually doesn't come from Venezuela, then he couldn't say that anymore, right? And so then he had to start switching to something else and start talking about other stuff. And then he finally just admitted it. He admitted it was about the oil because he admitted it before he was in office. And then he finally just admitted it afterwards. But like, it's not about security. It's not about defense. It's literally just about the minerals, the rare earth minerals. And we don't have a claim to that. And we can't just take it. Like, that's the thing. Like, this whole mindset of just taking it is such a colonizer mentality. And it's something that as a country, we're supposed to be better than, right? We're supposed to be better than all of this. But why is it that we think that we can just go take land? That doesn't make sense.
Well, I guess the way I look at it is like this, right? I mean, it's definitely the colonization type of mentality. That's the thing. That's real. Now, when we were talking about Venezuela for a second there, I knew that was about oil all along. Everyone knew that was about oil.
But no, you could say that, but like you're a little bit more educated than like the average Trump supporter, right? The average Trump supporter, one, had no idea about Venezuela. Two, they believed that it was about the F drug. That's like, you see them blowing up those bombs, you want the F drug here in the country and da 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 da. Like they were sitting here defending the war crimes that were being committed because they were told that those boats were coming to the US with F drug, and that wasn't happening. And as soon as they realized that they had, it was a con, that's when they started saying, you know what, we do need that oil. So there's a lot of people who had no idea that it was about the oil. They believed Trump and thought it was about safety.
Well, I think what they did is they took a very small safety risk and exploited it to do their ultimate goal. That's what they did there.
They lied about it.
Well, I mean, that's going a bit far, I think. I think there was some truth to it.
Not when it comes to the F drug. When it comes to other drugs, sure, but not the F drug.
Right. Yes, concurred. Points conceded there as far as that particular substance, yes. I don't think that there was at least any type of major quantity on those boats. But we knew that there were bad things coming. We knew that was some shady action happening there, and we used it as a tool to get in. But I mean, the history was right there all the way back in the late 70s. It was we knew that they had taken the oil from us and the oil equipment from us, and we were going to get it back.
That's true.
Just what do you mean? The Maduro's
they didn't take it.
Wait, before we pivot to that, can I just close on the Greenland thing? One thing.
Sure, do that, and then I'm going to thank a couple of people, and then we can move over to that, unless there's going to be more. But yeah, we didn't take anything from Venezuela, but sure.
Okay. Do you want to thank them now, or do you want me to close up with Greenland first?
I'll just, let me thank a couple of people. W's in the chat for Maria, who sent a $2 donation saying European Union announced that it would halt implementation of critical trade deals between the United States and Europe January 21st, 2026. You were fucking lying. I got to look this up. Global market on alert as European deal suspends approval of U.S. trade deals. Holy fuck. European Parliament is planning to suspend approval of U.S. trade deals agreed in July. According to sources, the International Trade Committee, suspension is set to be announced in Strasbourg, France on Wednesday. The move would mark another escalation in tensions between the U.S. and Europe as Donald Trump ratchets up the effort to acquire Greenland, threatening new tariffs. Over the issue of this weekend, the standoff has rattled financial markets, reviving talks of trade wars and possibility of retaliation against the United States' measures. Okay, so all right, never mind. I thought this was something new that was breaking. This is directly related to what happened yesterday and then the massive loss that occurred in the stock market. Okay, perfect. W's in the chat, thank you so much for the $2 donation. W's in the chat for Brittany with the $5 donation. Saying, so the U.S. has a right to control Greenland, but women don't even have the right to control their own bodies. Got it. Fucking got it. Better cook. Debbie's in the chat. Debbie's in the chat for Chelsea for the $6.43. I think that's probably about $8 Canadian or somewhere. Chelsea, I'm gonna send this to Kay. Can you reply to your donation and send me your username on TikTok or wherever you are? Send that to me, please. I'm gonna send this over to Kay. Kay, are you here right now? Okay, I'm gonna send this to you on Discord. Chelsea, can you please send me your username? Sorry, guys. Yeah. W's in chat for Laura for the $2 donation saying, this dude, thank you, Kay. This dude wants us to steal resources so we can hoard them for ourselves. This guy would be the person that hides his bike during the zombie apocalypse and get others killed. Yeah, like that's wild. That's wild. I don't understand that. Debbie's in the chat for Error, who sent a $4.99 super chat to say, another because you're my favorite debater. I tune in every stream and I know your intro by heart. Thank you for what you do. You're fucking awesome. Thank you so much. And I'm glad that you do. Debbie's in the chat for Dev with the $4.99 super chat to say, Trump announced today that Davos that there will be no military actions against Greenland. Yes, I heard him saying that. He did say that. I think that was something that will maybe help the markets a little bit. But, you know, I don't know. I think the fact that he's been told by like so many Republicans, even like the people closest to him, that if he actually invades Greenland, it will be the end of his presidency. And I feel like he thought that he was going to have more support. And while people on the internet may support him, overall, he's not getting like real support when it comes to the possibility of invading Greenland from like the political standpoint. Anyway, W's in the chat for all the donors, guys. If anyone else would like to support the live, you can do so. Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, pay links and Linktree in the bio. Santana Speaks For You. Santana Speaks For You is the best way to support the live. Everything's accepted. Anything's appreciated. If you're on the YouTube, you can send a super chat and I will read that out, guys. Keep tapping the screen, share the live. Can we knock out the daily gift goal? It's the little high bears. Can we knock those out? And last but not least, if you don't mind, look up at the top, see the word follow. If you're not following me, hit that follow button. We are trying to get to 80,000 followers on the main account. So hit that follow button, turn on notifications, follow the main account, but also follow the backup account. All right. Yaga, you said that you wanted to finish up your point when it came to Greenland. Yaga, are you there? Yeah, I'm going to send you a request to come off mute.
Oh, I'm sorry. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Oh, I'm sorry. I had the microphone muted for a second. I apologize.
All good.
First thing, in the zombie apocalypse, I'm setting up a town. Just saying. Okay. Now,
you do seem like you would hide your bite.
You think so?
Yeah. I'm kind of getting, you know, the Heidi vibes.
Okay. I mean, I don't know what to tell you there, brother. But all right. So when Greenland, when I look at it like this, it's very difficult to know anything that Trump is actually planning, saying, or doing. He's so erratic with his behavior and I honestly think that's part of his strategy. He is a businessman at heart, whether he's done good or poorly in whatever business he's been involved in business his entire life.
Poorly. Very
and when it comes to this situation, I think he's all over the board intentionally. I think he's trying to be erratic. I don't think he wants anyone to know specifically what he wants, because if he does, then there will be an argument against it. So look at it this way, right?
Hold on. Like, that doesn't make sense, because when you call, like, literally, we lost $1.9 trillion in the stock market yesterday because he's erratic. Like, inconsistency and instability does not make for any type of, like, plan. Like, the whole point that even when it came to his tariffs, right? With him putting tariffs on, taking them off, put them on, taking them off, he caused massive fluctuation, which people were considering that to be market manipulation because the rich people that knew him, the rich people that were close to him, they made money hand over fist. But so many people lost money because of the instability. Like, that's not the way. Again, this is not about the short term. This is not about the short term. This is not about shaking things up. There has to be some type of stability. And even if it's a plan that I don't like, right? I don't support the tariffs. I 100% don't. But if you're going to do the tariffs, then do the tariffs and actually do the tariffs. Have an actual plan and stick to it, because that instability is way worse than not having a plan.
Well, in my opinion, I don't think the tariffs were ever meant to be implemented long term. I think they're only bargaining.
I'm fine with that, but he doesn't have. He's inconsistent, and his inconsistencies has led to failures on multiple points. Right, the United States citizens are paying more in all their goods because of tariffs. Our alliances have been weakened because of tariffs, and they've been ineffective. So he hasn't been able to sign any substantial deals because he has no backbone when it comes to the tariffs. Like, literally, Switzerland, right? He had Switzerland come to the White House. He had tariffs on Switzerland, and Switzerland showed up. And what we know, with the facts that as we know them, is Switzerland came. They gave him a Rolex and a gold Swiss bar, and no trade agreements, no deal. But Donald Trump lowered the actual tariffs on Switzerland afterwards. So, like, he's not doing this for any rhyme or reason. He's not doing it to benefit American citizens. He's doing it to line his pocket, and it's also harming American citizens at the same time.
Harming American citizens currently, yes, I agree. Do I think there's a rhyme and a reason? I do. If we were to acquire the mineral rights to Greenland and have better bases there, it's better for everybody. We can at least agree on that, right? That would be beneficial all around.
Not
so if he's going in,
and not for the people of Greenland, but you don't care about the people of Greenland.
I don't care about them more than I care about United States citizens, though.
Why do you have more rights to? Why do you think the United States has more rights to their land than they do?
I don't believe we have more rights to their land.
That's what you're saying.
What I do believe is that nobody in Greenland is doing anything in any large capacity to mine those minerals.
It's their minerals. Just listen, if I have a fucking pizza and I'm only eating 2 slices out of my 8 slices, you can't get mad because I'm not eating all 8 slices. It's my pizza. Like, right. How are you going to get upset that they're not mining not everyone won? And the lady that did the interview said this with the most like eloquent point. And this is something that Americans don't understand, right? The United States of America is hyper-focused on capitalism. Other countries aren't, right? Other countries, other people, other citizens are more worried about the quality of life and how you live it versus having stuff, right? Capitalism in the United States of America drives everything that we do. And since it drives everything that we do, it causes these great disparities, right? Where we can have someone like Elon Musk, who's on pace to be the first ever trillionaire, but yet we have veterans walking around unhoused with no shoes. Like, people, it's so funny. I was in Spain at one point, right? And Spain has this thing called a siesta. Do you know what that is?
A break, a nap. I don't.
In the middle of the day, every day in Spain, businesses close down for about 3 hours. And what that does is it allows them to go home, take a break, relax, all this other stuff every day in the middle of the day. Everybody just in the middle of the day, we all just gonna hang out, right? But then they also do things like if you go to their grocery stores, they don't stand up. You go to the grocery stores here in the US, everyone's standing. You go to the grocery stores in Spain, everyone has a chair, right? When I was in Spain, I wanted to go get some Cubans, right? Because of course we can't get them here in the US. So I wanted to go get some Cubans. And I showed up at the tobacco shop at it closed at 10. I got there like 9:55 or something like that. And I tried to walk in and buy Cubans, and the guy was like, "Oh, we're closing." And I was like, "Oh, I'm trying to spend a lot of money. I want to buy these. I know they're expensive. I want to get a lot." And he was like, "No, we're closing." The fact is that capitalism drives us here in the US, but that's not the same mindset as other people in other countries. Other people in other countries care about the well-being of their citizens and the well-being of each other. They want to live a good life, but they're not willing to sacrifice things to live a good life. We here in the United States chase money at all times, and we never live life. That's what we are. That's who we are. That's why other countries have so many holidays. That's why other countries prioritize like parental leave and mental health. That's why there are certain Scandinavian countries where if you lose your job, you can call one number and pause all of your bills for an entire year to make sure that you're back on your feet. Other countries care about their people. Other people care about their lives. The United States cares about money, and they're willing to sacrifice you for that money.
Well, yes, we are definitely an economically based country. Our citizens and our companies and our people, we're hyper focused on finances and money. I agree with that. But I think in this situation, that's not what's going on. When you look at those minerals in Greenland, and yes, it is their pizza. That's right. And no, I don't have a right to say what you do with your pieces of pizza. But if you're going to sit there and let those pieces of pizza mold and go to waste while someone besides you starves to death, I do think they have the right to be angry. I'll explain. I'll make my point right here. The minerals that are used in Greenland, the rare earth minerals, are what we use to keep our troops out of combat. We use those in our drones, our missiles, our ability to not have boots on the ground, not have U.S. soldiers in danger. And if that country is sitting there on a large supply, and they're our ally, militarily they're our ally, and we say, hey, we need this for our military to be strong so we can be a good ally to you, and it's not something that you're utilizing and using, then I think we do have a right to be angry about that. And
you know where
mining
the flaw
is like
in your analogy, though?
Okay, what?
The flaw in your analogy is not that we're sitting here and they have pizza and it's molding and we're starving. The flaw is they have pizza, they're not eating it, and we're paying for extra pizza. And we're like, why do we need to pay for this pizza when we could just take their pizza for free? It's the point is we want something that someone else has because we don't want to actually pay for other things that people have. That's the flaw in your analogy. It's not that we're starving, it's that we want something for nothing. That's the flaw in your analogy.
Well, I don't believe that it's ever been mentioned anywhere that it would be for nothing. I think he's openly said that he's willing to make a deal, pay for it, buy it, trade for it.
And imperialism doesn't make deals. Colonization doesn't make deals. You can sit here and say that, oh, he's going to make a deal, but he's advocating for colonization, and the people of Greenland don't want that. They don't want to be a part of this imperialist system. They don't want to actually lose their access to healthcare. They don't want to lose their way of life. They don't want to lose their indigeneity, their connections to their country, their land. They don't want to lose those things in order to fulfill the American machine. They don't want that just so we can have more money in our pockets. You think they want to be less than, to be stripped away just so we can make more stuff? They don't give a shit about making more stuff. And we don't have the right to take their stuff so we can make more stuff. That doesn't make sense.
Think that we're going to take their stuff. I don't think that. And I've already stated to Santana that I'm not on board with that. I'm not on board with any military action in Greenland whatsoever. That is not something I support. Using leverage to negotiate a deal and barter and those things, yeah, I do concur with that. I do agree with that.
That's why I mentioned consent. That's why I said, do you know consent? Like, again, this is not the first time that we have had these conversations about wanting to acquire Greenland, and they've said no. And if they said no, then we have to respect their sovereignty, because at this point, putting tariffs on them and other countries to force them to do it, or even military action, which I understand that he just said there would be no military action, but threatening military. The reason why there won't be any military action is because he told his generals to draw up plans to invade Greenland, and they actually said no. Like, they told him no. That's why there won't be any military action, is because people are realizing, like, hey, if you do this, we're all fucked. We're all fucked. And so the point that I'm getting across is the premise that we should still somehow get it done, even though everyone else is saying no, even though the people are saying no, even though Greenland itself their governmental system is saying no. Even the Danish are saying no. You have, holy fuck, you have Putin saying no. But yet we Donald Trump once said it, and this is the fucking motto that he lives by. And at this point, this is what Trump supporters live by. We're going to do it whether you like it or not. Donald Trump told women, we're going to protect you whether you like it or not. It's about fucking consent. And if they say no, then we can't do it.
Well, that's another topic I strongly disagree with. I mean, that woman's body is her body, period. Just because I was a Trump supporter doesn't mean I support everything he does.
I was just using an analogy that Donald Trump doesn't believe in consent, and you are sitting there doing the same thing. That's what I'm saying. Like, you advocating for something after they've told us no multiple times in multiple ways. Right. You're forcing yourself on them.
Let's look at it this way. Okay, the topic of invasion and taking over, becoming a U.S. area, they said no to that. Have they said no to the mineral rights? Have they said no?
They've said no to every offer that Donald Trump offered $1 trillion to buy Greenland, with $700 billion upfront and additional funds directly to Greenland citizens. And they all said no. Like, this just happened 4 days ago. They all said no.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think that the real offer has come out yet. I think this is all still the staging peacock.
Do you know why they offered $1 trillion with $700 billion up front?
No, I don't. I honestly
because
don't.
The evaluation is that Greenland is worth $700 billion. So that's why they offered them $1 trillion and then $700 billion up front. So the evaluation of Greenland up front with another $300 billion coming. So I don't know what offer you're going to give that's going to be, a sweeter offer that makes sense. Well, like they've already said no to that.
I think he's going to take off the whole colonization aspect. I think he's going to take off. We don't want Greenland anymore. We just want this. We just want mineral rights. We just want these 4 bases. We want this or that. I think the ultimate offer is still yet to come. That's what I'm trying to say. I don't believe that he actually really wants Greenland to be part of the U.S. I think that's all just a stage. It's all a bluff. It's all BS. Because really, it serves no purpose. I mean, it's just common sense says we don't need to have that. That's what I think. Maybe I'm wrong. I mean, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I don't believe that that's really what his goal is. I think there's an ulterior motive, a hidden goal. He is trying to get the mineral rights to it.
So he's playing 4D chess, and we just don't know.
Well, I'm not necessarily saying he is. I think maybe his advisors and people who are a little better.
Who? Stephen Miller?
Well, I don't know. I don't know. I don't think it's anybody in the public light. I haven't seen anybody in the public light that really.
Which one? Which person in the Trump administration is a mastermind? I only know of one. I know one mastermind that's currently connected with the Trump administration. Do you know who that one mastermind is?
No, absolutely not.
Stephen Miller. And he's a fucking Nazi. That's the only mastermind within the Trump administration. Everyone else is out doing things for themselves. Everyone else is out trying to benefit themselves. Even Marco Rubio, who used to be, while I disagree with him on a shit ton of stuff, he was at least a decent Republican politician. The only reason he saddled himself to Donald Trump is because he wants to be the next president of the United States of America. That's the only reason. Everyone else is out to do things for themselves. Stephen Miller is a fucking megalomaniac. He is he is Voldemort, and he hates people. And so he's writing executive orders. He's implementing policies to overwhelmingly hurt people and to take things. And like, everyone else is out for themselves. There's no other mastermind. There's no other master plan. You have people like fucking Peter Navarro. Do you know who Peter Navarro is?
I don't know who a lot of people are. I really don't, Santana. We discussed this last time I talked to you a month ago. Your knowledge wealth of people who are in politics and political figures is far exceeding to mine.
Then what makes you have faith then if you don't even know the people, if you don't know the players in the game, what makes you have faith that there's like someone or other people that are pulling the strings that are like successfully making things happen?
I guess it just comes down to that hopeless romantic type mentality that common sense will prevail. I really do believe that. I think that if I can sit here and come up with this idea, why to shake the world up on such a large scale when really ultimately all you want is this, and you want them to concede to that condition. As soon as you make that offer, if I can come up with that plan, someone there has got to be able to do it as well.
You know what an armchair quarterback is?
Sure.
What's an armchair quarterback?
That's the guy who on Monday morning sits and says, well, they should have done this, they should have done that, they should have done this, they should have done that. And it's really easy to make those decisions when you're sitting in your living room and you're comfy, cozy, and you're drinking your soda or beer and eating your popcorn.
Yeah. The premise that geopolitics is somehow just as simple as like, this is what we want, we can make a deal, we can take it, blah, 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 it's a slap in the face to the people that do. This is something I genuinely have a problem with, right? We've moved to the point where everyone thinks that their opinion or their thought process or their ideas are more important than experts, right? And I often say this, I lean on the experts. If the experts say that like, this is what's happening, then I'm going to look at the information, I'm going to consume the data, and then I'm going to, as long as it's verifiable, I'm going to like, okay, this is what it is, right? But for some reason, the premise that we can do these things because we're America, that's not how it works. American exceptionalism is kicking everyone's ass. America's not the best country on the earth. I know people, that may be hard for some people to hear. America is not the greatest country on earth. America has the largest military on earth. America has the largest GDP on earth, but it's not the greatest country on earth. And that's by multiple measures, and including measures when it comes to the protection, happiness, safety of their citizens. But for some reason, we think that just because we got the big military and we got the money and all this other stuff, that it's our way or the highway. But you know what? One of my favorite shows growing up was Power Rangers. And with the Power Rangers, there used to be episodes where you would have like the Red Ranger and he would be 1v1 in like a Goldar, right? It was Jason versus Goldar, one-on-one. And Goldar was giving Jason those hands. But you know what happened? Kimberly, Trini, Zach, Billy, hell, Tommy, all of them showed up and they jumped him. And Goldar, who was handling Jason one-on-one, he got the beats. The point that I'm trying to make is that, yes, America one-on-one, we can handle our own. But when we cause issues and we lose allies and people start to create alliances to go against us, we're no longer the big dog. Other people, other countries create alliances and they can take us down. American exceptionalism is kicking everyone's ass.
Well, yeah, we're definitely not military or vulnerable to attacks from multiple countries. That's not a thing. I agree with you on that. We're not so powerful that we can take on many countries at one time. I agree with that.
I don't know. The thing that I just have the problem with is like, when is enough enough? Like, what's the line? Like, what's the line for us? Like, when do we stop like thinking that everything that spews out of his mouth is just like a good idea just because people believe that he's some type of successful businessman? Like, Yaga, can you name one business that Donald Trump actually started that he made successful?
Trump Tower Plaza.
He didn't start those. He inherited real estate from his dad.
Yeah, he got a small token. What was
He
it,
got
$1 million or $5
$415 million inheritance. He got a loan of $1 million, but he got $415 inheritance. But he had also inherited real estate, which prelude into the actual real estate of Trump Towers and all this other stuff. So that's not true.
Well, he's the one who built Trump Tower, right?
Do you know who Fred Trump is?
Well, sure. His father, yes.
Yeah, Donald Trump might have actually built the tower, but Fred Trump actually built the real estate mogul, the real estate entity that turned into Trump Tower. That's why I said name one business that Donald Trump created himself that became that became successful.
By that same bar, do you not consider Elon Musk a good businessman?
No.
Because his parents own the gold mines in South Africa?
I'm sorry. As far as business, yes, I do consider Elon Musk a good businessman. He's not a genius. And it's not about inheritance, right? Because while Elon Musk, and he got like the emerald mines, he was able to parlay the money into PayPal, and then able to parlay the money from PayPal into Tesla. He acquired Tesla. He acquired Starlink and all this other stuff. And so, yes, I think he's a good businessman. He's not built anything, but Donald Trump, not only has Donald Trump not built anything, Donald Trump has actively, let's do this. Do you know what ban for ban is?
No, I do not.
Okay. Ban for ban is you and I, we're going to go back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, right? And we're going to go back and forth, and we're going to see who runs out of things first. You got it?
Santana,
right? And
you've already won there.
The things that we're going to the things we're going to do, I'm going to name Donald Trump's failed business ventures, and you name his successful business ventures.
Yeah, you got me. I already conceded this point. One, I don't know that much about his business. You just said name one business. I knew the Trump Tower thing, that he started that. Only because I watched
he doesn't even own most of those buildings that he has his name on.
I do know that, yeah.
You know what? This is how much I know about Donald Trump and also his business acumen. Donald Trump has been successful in one aspect of business in his life. One, literally one. Do you know what that is?
I don't know what you're going to say. No.
Marketing. Donald Trump is a marketing genius. Donald Trump knows when, where, and how to slap his name on stuff. That's it. Donald Trump knows that his name has some type of value, and he uses his name to make money. So Donald Trump doesn't own stuff. He doesn't make stuff. He's not innovative, but Donald Trump slaps his name on stuff, and then he makes money off the stuff that he slapped his name on. That's why you have things like Trump water, Trump steak, Trump vodka, Trump knives, Trump University, Trump the board game. Did you know there was a Trump the board game where you could actually be a real estate mogul? He tried to fucking copy Monopoly and failed.
But that does not surprise me. No, the man's definitely an egomaniac, yes. But he's smart about it. He has been. If you look going back, look in the 80s. He was in Die Hard. You know, he does
Donald Trump's an idiot.
I wouldn't go that far.
No. He's literally an idiot. He's a Nepo baby, a narcissist, and an idiot. His mom said that he was an idiot. His professors at Wharton said that he was an idiot. Donald Trump's an idiot.
Well, he's doing better than me. That's what I know. He's
doing better than all of us because he was fucking gifted $415 million as an inheritance. And you know what he did? When he took that money from Fred Trump, he blew through it. He blew millions of billions of dollars. And if it wasn't for him being accepted on reality TV, because when Donald Trump got to the 80s and the 90s, Donald Trump had fell off in multiple aspects. That's why Donald Trump bankrupt casinos. And the only thing that saved Donald Trump is the fucking reality TV show in the era that the United States went through, where for some reason we fucking worship reality TV stars. That's why you have Donald Trump. That's why you have Kim Kardashian. That's why you have these people that were able to get uber rich off of just, hi, I'm rich. And people ate that shit up. That's the only, literally, that's the only thing that saved Donald Trump from being completely bankrupt, is because he actually got on with with reality TV. And then from that point, he was able to rebrand himself. And then people started to buy in on the aspect of being a billionaire, you know, a successful businessman. And then he found the grift of politics. He learned that he could lie to people and he could give them a red hat and he could make them feel special, and they would buy his shit. They would buy his shoes. They would buy his watches. They would buy his fucking suit. Do you know that Donald Trump took the suit that he allegedly was attempted to be assassinated in, took that suit, cut up pieces, and sold the suit?
No, I did not know that.
You know, it costs $100,000 in order to get a piece of that suit that he was wearing during that assassination attempt.
That's insane.
That's what he does. Literally, that's what he does. He's not a good businessman. He's not smart. He's a fucking grifter that understands. He knows Marx. And MAGA, you guys are Marx. You guys are Johns. Well, that's what you guys are.
It's easy to say that. Okay, I get it. I see the turmoil that's going on. I see the things that are happening. It's blatant. It's right there in front of your face. And yes, it's easy to say that. But it's only easy to say that because it's right now. I think 10 years from now, it'll look differently. I think when you look back on his presidency, it will be different. He said this in the very first speech he gave a second term, that there was going to be turmoil. There was going to be shaking things up. There was going to be things different. Citizens were going to go through a hard time before things got right. And so far, everything he said he was going to do, he's done. Right or wrong, if he says he's going to do some shit, he usually does it.
He hasn't.
I think he has a far greater capacity than any other politician that I've known.
Name one thing that he said that he was going to do that he has effectively done. One campaign promise that he's effectively done.
Well, I don't want to beat this dead horse because we discussed it the first time we talked, but the border, he shut the border down.
He didn't shut the border down.
The executive order.
He didn't shut the border down.
Well, the people coming across the border are significantly less. And I know you're going to say because of the tactics and because we talked about that before. But there is way less people coming across the border into the United States, northern, southern alike, than there was before he was president. Way less.
Do you know why? Why I said things that he's done effectively? You know why I said that?
Well, I guess no, I don't.
Because even with the inference of him actually doing things along the lines of the border or what deportation, whatever. One, it's costing a shit ton of money. Two, he's allocated a shit ton of resources. Three, he is deporting at a lower rate than Barack Obama or Joe Biden. And four, we're losing money and we're on a human rights watch list. Not only did Donald Trump's his deportation effort is going to cost us about $88 billion a year, we're also losing billions of dollars due to tourism and people not coming to the country. It's a double whammy. We're losing money on two ends. We're losing rights, and he's also doing a suck-ass job at it. Like, that doesn't make sense. There's no other instance where someone would be able to actually continue to do the shit that they're doing while failing. Fuck it. White men are the only men in this fucking country that can fail up. No one else gets to fail up. White men get to fail up. If you are a black man, if you're a woman, if you are queer, if you have a disability and you fail, you lose. You have to start over. White men, they fail and they get a better opportunity after they fail.
I didn't. When I failed, I fell flat on my ass. I'm just saying, personally speaking, I didn't. I fell flat on my ass. But I do understand.
W's in chat from Matt Scrumble for the $10 donation saying mining in Greenland has been severely polluted downstream water supplies. Large scale mining there will require damaging 1.7 kilometers to 3 kilometers ice sheets, resulting in accelerating melting and dramatic global sea level increases. Yeah, like that's the one thing that W's in chat from Matt Scrumble, one thing that I never got a chance to get to, and like I wanted to make sure I got to, but like, yeah, you're absolutely right. This would have massive people. Like, for some reason, Trump supporters think that we can just start like drilling a fuck ton and it's all good. Like, we're going to destroy the environment. And the short-sightedness is like fucking mind blowing. You have to leave this world for your kids and your kids' kids and your kids' kids' kids. If you fuck everything up today, then it won't be anything for them tomorrow. But no, you want more oil. No, you want more minerals so you can make more missiles and make more drones because you like shit. Fuck out of here. W's in the chat for Brittany for the $5 donation saying DJT said things will get worse before they get better. So the fact that things are now worse is proof that these people, the proof to these people that they think things are actually going to get better. Now, they don't realize that better isn't coming. You know what? Fucking facts. Fucking facts. W's in chat for Mike, who sent a $2 donation saying these people are so unserious, it pisses me off. It does. Same here. Follow up with another $2 donation saying Santana, by the time these marks see the line, we'll be off the cliff and into the ocean. Yeah. The fucking wild part is they're driving us off the cliff. We're fucking Thelma and Louise in this shit together against our will. We're all going off the side of the cliff because these fuckers can't drive. W's in chat for Looter, who sent a $4.99 super chat to say Trump loves the poorly educated. W's in chat for 1B Carey for the $5 super chat to say Americans have a problem with the mining our own flipping business. It's not ours. Exactly. W's in the chat for Looter, who sent a $4.99 super chat to say MAGA's favorite word is but. I think, in my opinion, and lastly, I feel no coherent thoughts. Yeah, it's all about the fifis and their tum-tum. W's in chat for Megan for the $5 super chat to say Congress need to invoke the 25th Amendment. Trump is clearly advanced dementia. Like I don't want to like make that proclamation online because I'm not a doctor. I don't have access to his medical records. I don't know. I will say that there's definitely something there. Also, I think the 25th would be super harmful. Like the 25th would be super harmful. I can't remember which amendment it is where we can remove his entire cabinet, but I think that would be way more effective because JD Vance is a fucking chameleon. That was in chat for Turd Burglar 87. Turd Burglar 87. MAGA is the grimy kid that can't keep our hands to themselves and super effing proud of it. No means no, but they voted for a rapist and a draft dodger. Facts. That was in chat for Queen Anne, who sent a $9.99 super chat to say MAGA thinks that imperialistic colonizer blood, and it shows, has imperialistic colonizer blood and it shows. I agree. W was in the chat for Kojo, who sent a $10 super chat and then sent a message, just some love. Thank you. W was in chat for Rust Belt, who sent a $5 super chat to say people aren't coming to the U.S. legally or illegally because we are so fucked up and they're afraid to come here. Big facts. W was in the chat for Amanda, who sent a $10 donation saying thank you for the consistent and helping Thank you for the content and helping the rest of us create good arguments as we interact with MAGA outside of these platforms. Yeah, listen, if you can take anything from what I'm saying, that makes me happy. I really hope that, me being able to give any type of facts or information, something that is valuable to others. So that means a lot to me. W's in the chat for all the donors, guys. If anyone else would like to support the live, you can do so. Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, pay links and Linktree in the bio. Santana Speaks for You is the best way to support the live. Everything's accepted. Anything's appreciated. If you're over on the YouTube, you can send a super chat and I will read that out. Lift, laugh, love. I just muted you and I sent you a request. You said America's great. You're a liar. You're a liar and ain't no truth in you. You won't come up here and you won't defend that stance. That's why you think you can sit in my chat and you can say America, but yet you don't have anything but the fifis in your tum-tum, bub. You're weak. You're weak coward, and you're scared to stand on business. That's why you would rather put stuff in the chat than get in the box and stand on business, because you know for a fact that you got nothing. You got nothing. Look at you. What are you? You ain't nothing. 5'4", 150 pounds of nothing. Get in the box. Also, guys, make sure you hit that follow button. And if you got that call back, drop it in the chat. Who said that? Shorty, that was in the chat. Shorty, are you a Trump supporter or someone that disagrees with something on the background? Okay, I'm gonna take that as a no. Did anybody get that reference? Hi, Landman, or Landman, are you a Trump supporter or disagree with something on the background?
Lifetime Democrat, however, I did vote for Trump twice.
Okay.
Yes.
1 second. Jer, you fucking nailed it, Jer. W's in the chat for Jer. Jer fucking got it. Absolutely. Sorry. Also, W's in the chat for Reagan, who sent a $10 donation saying, does MAGA not realize it's impossible to be completely shut down when it comes to the border? No, they think that he actually shut down the border. It's fucking wild. W's in chat. If anyone else wants to support the live, Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, Santana speaks for you. Okay. You said lifetime Democrat and you voted for Trump and you still support Trump today?
Well, here's where I look at it.
Just
Greenland is a
wait. Just to understand it before we move into it.
Yes, I did vote for him twice. Yeah, not the last time.
Right, but you still support him today. That's what I'm just trying to make sure.
Not everything. I support some of the stuff he's doing. Yes.
Okay, just to make sure, because I want to make sure that I understand where you're coming from
Sure.
your political lens.
Yeah.
Knowing what you know today, if you had to vote for him, would you?
I would have to wait till the end of his term because it's 4 years, and that's when you know whether they did something positive or negative, for the country.
Okay,
As
all right.
Biden had 4 years, Obama had 8 years. I mean, so.
Yeah, that's fine. All right. So my premise is that, like, not only is the current leadership that's in power destroying and dismantling our country, but the leadership of men as a whole has destroyed and dismantled our society, right? We can talk about the potential World War III that's coming. We can talk about the floundering economy. We can talk about the actual lost rights that have occurred, the fragile male ego that persists in this day and age. I think we need a woman president, but I am vehemently against having a white man as a VP, right? I don't think we need to saddle any woman president with a white man as a VP. I think they've had their time and they've shown that they've fucked things up in multiple ways. So with that being said, what point do you disagree with on the background as far as why you think there's not a time for a woman president?
Well, I wouldn't mind a woman president. I think Hillary Clinton was probably experienced enough to be a woman president. For sure. Kamala. Yeah, I think she. I would have no problem with her.
But you voted for Trump over her.
Yeah, I did, only because I lived part-time in Mexico, retired, and I used to see the caravans, thousands and thousands of people crossing when I'd go across the border every 2 or 3 months to visit my sons and my brothers in Southern California, Nevada. And that's no longer happening. So that's a good thing. Those people are being taken advantage of by the CTELs.
Donald Trump is using ICE to actually detain undocumented immigrants and sell them into free slave labor.
Yeah, I don't agree with all the tactics that ICE is using either. I think they need to back off a bit.
How come those caravans never made it to the U.S. border?
Well, they did have a remain in Mexico policy back in that.
No. I'm talking about, like, Donald Trump used to always talk about those caravans. And if for some reason there was always a caravan that was coming to the southern border right before an election. But after the election, the caravans just kind of like dissolved, or, Thanos away, or somebody hit it with some Hakai or something. I don't know what happened. Like, why is it that Donald Trump would always talk about the caravans like right before elections, but as soon as elections were over, like, there were no more caravans? What happened?
I imagine somehow they stopped. They realized he was going to be tougher on them when they got here, and they didn't want to put up with it.
No. Because I'm talking about, like, even like before he was elected the first term, he was talking about caravans, and then after he was elected, there were no caravans. But then in his first term before the midterms, he was talking about caravans. And then after the midterms, there were no caravans. And before he was reelected this term, he was talking about caravans. And then after he won the presidency, there's no caravans.
So you didn't see the actual videos of them? Wait, you didn't see the actual videos of all of them?
Hold on. Do you think that like Donald Trump lied about the caravans to propagandize people who don't know a lot?
Well, no, actually, I live here. I saw it with my own eyes. So it's not like they didn't happen.
Sure. Can you give me some type of empirical data that I can verify that the caravans were happening?
CNN footage, MSNBC footage, all the major network
you
footage.
naming footage from certain places. That's not empirical data. Yeah. Give me something that I can
absolutely.
Actually verify.
It's public knowledge. Reported by the media.
Sure. Give me one actual credible source.
You think actually all the media is corrupt?
Give me one credible source that reported.
I just did.
No, you didn't. You named off media sources. You named off CNN, Fox News, CSNBC. That's not.
You can go on any site online
and do it. And do it. I know. Then shushies, bubba. Then do it. If you can go on any site and verify, then do it. Go on a site, grab a credible source that was reporting and saying that there were caravans that were actually coming in, and let's look at it. If you can do it, if you can look it up, if it's so easy peasy, then do it. I'll talk to my chat.
You've never seen it yourself?
I'm telling you that if you have empirical data,
I know what you're telling me, but you're saying to us you've never seen it yourself.
I'm telling you that Donald Trump lied about the caravans.
There's public knowledge. You understand that, right? If it's
public knowledge, then go grab that knowledge and prove me wrong. If it's public knowledge, go grab it and prove me wrong. Do it. I dare you.
Okay, I will. But can we talk about?
Nope, we're not going to talk about anything else because you know what? You know what's interesting, right? I believe when you're debating, if you can't substantiate an argument, then you don't get to use the argument, right? So that means that one of two things has to happen at this point. Either one, you have to prove your claim and I concede, or two, you concede that you don't have a source and then we can move on, but you cannot use that again because it's not a thing. One of the two things have to happen. You actually said, this is a point. This is something that's verifiable. And I'm like, cool, I'm willing to accept it. Give me that source. And saying, oh, everyone reported on it. That's not a source. I saw with my eyes. That's not a source. I got a cousin third removed that actually knew about it because he was actually running stuff across the border. That's not a source.
Go get a verifiable or not?
Go get a verifiable source. What do you mean?
Are you curious about it or not?
Yeah, I'm very curious about your claim.
Did you see it yourself? Yes or no? Did you ever see it yourself? Nope. Yes or no? And believe it. You never believed it. Ever?
I never saw it. Wow. I never saw it. Listen.
Wow.
Prove it to me.
Okay, that's good. Let's talk about Greenland now.
No, absolutely not. I don't know if you're not listening or what. No.
Is Greenland a colony of Denmark?
No, but Bub, you're not going to actually talk about what you want to talk about. You made a claim.
Colonization.
And the only way, listen, hey,
was colonization.
You're crashing. Listen, you're crashing right here. Look at it. You see this?
You steered me off.
What it says? You crash out, you lose. You crash out, you lose. You don't get to move on. You made a claim. I want you to verify your claim. Either you verify your claim or you admit that it's not true. And we can move on if you admit that it's not true, but you can't use that again. So either verify your claim or admit that you made that shit up. Or you can just admit that you were propagandized, which is more likely.
Let's go to the border.
No. I don't want to hear you talk about I don't want to hear you talk about stuff.
They're doing in the border facilities now.
No, I don't want to hear your opinion, Bub. I don't think you understand. I don't think you understand how sources work. So what you should be doing is like, hey, Santana, there is an article titled such and such and such and such from the BBC on the date of da-da-da that details the actual caravans that were coming into the country. That's giving me a source, not, well, let's talk about this. We know this and we know that. That's not a source.
You don't want to believe something you see.
No, I don't care about what you're saying unless you verify it.
Admit what you've seen with your own eyes.
I'm telling you, I didn't see it. Prove it.
You never believed it at all? Really?
I didn't see it. Prove it.
Oh, you're lying.
I didn't see it. Prove it.
You're lying.
I didn't see it. Prove it. No, you're lying.
No, I'm not lying.
You made that up.
Lying
you made up the caravan. There are no such things as caravan. There's never been a caravan ever. There's never been a caravan. You made it up. You specifically came up here for the first time ever, and you made up the caravans. The caravans is not a thing. That was something that you just made up. Now prove it.
Don't get up at all.
Prove it.
You know you've seen it yourself, and you won't admit it.
Prove it.
You will not admit. Hey, you're lying to your people here.
Landman, you're lying to my people.
You're lying to your people.
Who made the claim?
You're lying to the people listening to you right now.
Landman, who made the claim? Who made the claim?
I didn't make any claim. It's not a claim. It's a fact.
Okay, if it's a fact, then you can prove it, bub. If it's a fact,
you should be
prove it.
Curious. Aren't you curious? If you don't, I
am very curious. I am very curious.
No, but you didn't see that.
Landman.
No, well, but you didn't see that.
Listen to me. I want you to stay on mute. If you can't stay on mute while I finish my sentence, I'm going to kick you. You came up here and you made a claim, and I'm willing to accept your claim. That's fine. That's fine. You made a claim. Hey, this is the only warning that I'm going to give you. Stay on mute or I'm going to kick you. And if I kick you, you lose.
My claim,
all right. You lose. You fucking lose. He lost. L's in the chat for Landman. He lost. He literally lost. If you crash out, you lose. It's on the background. You crashed out, you lost. And now you don't even get to talk about the shit that you wanted to talk about. You crash out, you lose. You don't get to say shit without verifying it. Sorry. You don't get to just say shit without verifying it. I know that other places may let you speak about your fifis, but I don't really care about your fifis. I'm willing to accept whatever you can prove. If you can fucking prove Bigfoot actually exists, then fuck it. Size them up for some shoes and tell them I said, what's up? I'm with it. But you got to prove it. If you can't prove it, then you don't get to say the shit. Hi, MB, are you a Trump supporter or someone that disagrees with something on the background? MB, are you a Trump supporter or someone that disagrees with something on the background? I'll take that as a no. Gonna take that as a no. You're right. Absolutely. I will absolutely. W's in the chat for Jared for the $1 donation. Saying, morning, Santana. I think it's about time we get the STR trademark, Santana trademark. Absolutely. T-shirt and Fifi see your tum-tum shirt. I'll just mail my wallet in your PO and be prepared to pre-order. Absolutely. W's in the chat for Jared. W's in the chat for Laura for the $2 donation, saying, the interweb says there were 14 caravans that were armed to get to the United States border in 2022. Almost every one of them stopped by law enforcement at the border or the neighboring police forces. They didn't make it to the United States, buddy. Yeah. Like, again, the entire premise that I wanted to harp on and wanted to drill down on is that it was literally a fear tactic. It was always a fear tactic. Always a fear tactic. Matthew, are you a Trump supporter or someone that disagrees with something on the background?
Kind of on the fence, really, with a lot of things. When it comes to economics and as advisors, I would say I call them the Sour Patch administration. They're sour and then they're sweet. Like when they put the tariffs on back in April, for example, I'm an investor. I hold a lot of stock.
Wait, just to be clear. Trump supporter, yes or no? It's fine if you are or you aren't.
It depends on what. Like I think it's when it comes to market, I guess you could say manipulation. It's almost genius because they're very sour, then they're sweet. They say they have a tester. They put 90-day pauses on the tariffs when they first announce them, and then the market dropped because of uncertainty after it raised, and then it pumped again. So all these guys, these advisors, it's not just Trump that's the mastermind. They put testers out, like even Greenland. Oh, now we're not going to take it by force. Market went up. And now there's still more uncertainty. And then something will happen where they're hot and cold. And I think in terms of as an investor point of view, I think it's a smart play the way that they do things. It's not just Trump doing that. Back in April, again, was a perfect example. They said, we're doing tariffs to the world. And then 90-day pause. Market pumped, dropped again because as that expiration date happened, hey, it started dropping, then they pumped it again. So, you know, I'm not saying moral compasses here. I'm not saying, I just think as an investor, it's been good. GDP and CPI and PPI have been good the last 3 months in a row. You know, the average consumer, I feel for them. They don't care about stocks. I get it. But in terms of data it's not too bad. You know, in terms of economics, under the hood, people say, "Oh, a market crash is coming," but really, fundamentally, everything hasn't changed. Greenland's the newest noise, and that's I just want to put that out there on a non-biased point of view, I guess you could say. I don't know. I just wanted to come
Matthew,
up. Yeah.
Did you read the background before you came up?
Lost rights, fragile egos, crash out, you lose. Time for a woman. Yeah, I just read it now.
So you didn't read it before you came up?
No, because I wanted to talk about that subject. The point of the chat room is for people to chat.
The point of whose chat room is for people to chat?
Well, it wasn't yours. It doesn't have to be.
The point of my live is what's on the background.
Okay, yeah, but I mean, what lost rights? So you don't want to talk market. You want to talk about someone's lost rights, or
I want to talk about what's on my background because that's why I made the background.
Okay, so time for a woman. I mean, let the voters.
Hey, question for you.
Yeah.
What type of hubris do you think you have to actually have in order to come into like someone's TikTok live and one, not even acknowledge what's like all on the background, then two, and come up and just like start talking about the thing that you want to talk about, and then even more so three, like
I would just feel that's the point of a chat room. You could remove me right now.
This isn't a chat room. This is a TikTok live.
Yeah, I know. Whatever you want to call it, you could remove me right now. I wouldn't care. I'm just saying, as a market point of view,
that's fine. But I'm not talking about the markets. I don't care about talking about the markets right now because that's not where the conversation was going. We can talk about the economy as a whole. Yes, that's fine. But the point that I'm getting is like you requested up without even checking the background. You requested up specifically to talk about something that you thought that you wanted to talk about.
Here, one sec. I gotta go. Sorry, man.
I'm going to say something, chat. I'm going to say something, and I hope it doesn't get me in trouble, but I'm going to say it. The thing that I've learned, right? So I'm 38 years old. I'll be 39 in 9 days. I've worked in corporate America my entire life. And the one thing that I know for a fact, the thing that rich white men love the most, love more than booger sugar, love more than power, love more than money. The thing that white men love the most is to hear themselves talk. And if there's ever a chance that a rich white man can hear himself talk and force other people to hear him talk about whatever the fuck he wants to talk about, he's going to take it every single time. Every fucking time. Who the fuck? Whatever. Only request up if you're a Trump supporter or disagree with something on the background. We are only looking for some debates. Please do not request up If you're not a Trump supporter or you do not disagree with something on the background, we are only looking for some debates. I think it's time for a woman president. And I know for a fact that woman leadership will be better than any men that we've had leading our country. Listen, we're 0-47. Like, we are like the fucking, I can't remember what year, but the year the Lions went defeated. Like, that's what we're doing. That's where we are. I don't think this person's I also don't think this person's going to load. Hi, Granny Rocks. Are you a Trump supporter or disagree with something on the background? I don't think so.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to request up.
No worries. No worries. Debbie's in the chat. It's mind-blowing, the hubris. Like the absolute hubris. Hi, are you a Trump supporter or disagree with something on the background? What the fuck is happening, chat? Yeah, fucking right. The Lions catching strays. You think not? Absolutely. Absolutely. All right, chat. So, damn it, there was one other thing that I really want to talk about really quick. What's the thing? Come on, Jimmy Neutron. What was the thing? I can't remember. I can't remember the thing. Sorry, there was something I want to talk about, but I can't remember. W's in chat for Megan for the $1 donation saying had to go after the Lions, huh? I thought we were cool. Listen, only team to ever go defeated. Only team to ever go defeated. All right. This is what we're going to do. Hold on. What the fuck did I want to tell you? Now this is actually bothering me because there's something I wanted to talk to you about. What the fuck am I thinking of? Chat. What the fuck am I thinking of? Why can't I remember what I'm thinking of? Damn it. What's the thing? I can't remember the thing. You said dimension, maybe. Maybe. First sign of old age? No, my memory's been like that for a long time. You said the last guest had the audacity. No, it's the caucasity. Mark, are you a Trump supporter or disagree with something on the background?
I'm not a Trump supporter, but I'm kind of curious as to how are you arguing point 1, 2, 3, your fourth point of no white men VPs? Is that just from the statistical sense of we've been failed by the previous number of VPs we had, which just so happened to be white, or like what's the lens of that argument really?
Yeah, white men specifically hold the key to where we are in society as a whole today in America. And so since they've had all the power and made all the decisions, they get the lump sum of the blame. And so they are persona non grata for the next vote.
All right. I just wanted to clarify on that and understand that because it wasn't really clicking to me at that point. I don't really have anything to argue.
For me, honestly, if I'm going to be honest, like what I really think it does is denigrates the idea of like having a woman president. And it's more so in the sense, not that I don't think there would be like some great white men that would be amazing VPs, because I think Andy Bashir, like his first bite at the apple, is going to be a vice president. I think he'll do an amazing job. But the point that I'm getting across is like, I feel like we live in this thought process that in order to elect a woman, we have to saddle her with a white man. And that makes her palatable, right? That's the only way that she's going to be accepted by some people, is if she has a straight white man standing behind her. And I'm like, no, We're not going to do that. And I don't think that we should make that a requirement in order to accept the first woman as president. So again, it's not that I'm sitting here saying like, oh, white men aren't qualified or whatever. I just like I'm against that in the sense that I think it's a couple of different negative points, and the biggest thing is that it seems like it's just a requirement for others.
Okay, I get that. And again, I was just trying to clarify that. And I'm sorry if my words aren't coming across correctly or anything, or whatever the case may be.
Did you hear the last guy crashing out not too long ago? Like, you were way better than him. He sucked.
Oh, hell yeah. I've been in here for like about an hour just listening and laughing at these MAGA folks. And
I don't get why they do this. It's weird. They're weird.
All right. But I'm going to drop, man. I'm going to keep watching. But
all right.
Hopefully it's a good stream. And thank you for the clarification.
Absolutely. I appreciate you. Have a good one.
All right. You too.
I think there's a couple of different things that we have to break out of the mold of. And I think the paralysis fear, right? The fact that if one of the like biggest reasons that I absolutely stand on this and I believe on this, no MAGA world, I will not bring you up. Also, guess what? I'm not even going to block you. I'm just going to mute you because I don't care what you have to say in the comments, but I also would never allow you on my platform. You fucking crash out. We live in a world where people are like terrified of the idea of having a woman candidate because they don't think women can win. And yes, I understand that this country was founded on racism, sexism, classism. It is deeply embedded in the core of who we are in the Constitution. In every fiber, our country is blood soaked due to that. But at some point, we got to get past that. Because there's been more than enough qualified women that should have held the office of the presidency. And my whole premise is if we don't do it now, then when? If we don't break that glass ceiling, then we'll never do it. And we have so many qualified women, and we got so many men that have fucked up so much shit. So let's do it. Like, let's fucking do it. Stop being scared. Listen, either we're going to have that dog in us or we not. And chat, lock in for a second with me. If you can't run with the big dogs and stay on the porch, not going to hold you. Not going to hold you. I don't need you running with me if you got Kool-Aid pumping in your veins. Just saying. Just saying. Like, let's do this shit. W's in chat for Mega for the $1 donation saying, I literally have no defense except Felix. I know how MAGA feels. Yeah, listen, like sometimes you gotta add on 6'7". Stacy, are you a Trump supporter or someone that disagrees with something on the background? Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah, you're being weird. What has that accomplished? That's the best you got, Stacy? What next? What's your master plan after that? Yeah, you flushed the toilet. Sure, you did a bodily function. Cool. And now you're flushing the toilet over and over. Is that the best that you have? You guys fucking suck. Like, you know that you're like a 5-year-old. Like, literally, is this the best that you have? You have nothing. Oh, you know what's funny, chat? It's not even them using the bathroom. It's just the sound. They're playing a sound. They're playing a sound. Stacy, this is your master plan. This is the best that you have. I'm going to get on TikTok live and play toilet sounds. Ha, 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 ha. Ha, 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 ha. I know. Listen, if you come off mute, you got to say something. I don't want to hear the toilet sounds anymore. I let you have your toilet sounds. You got to do something better. You have to do something better. At this point, you're not even a one-trick pony. You're literally a failure. You're a failed troll. And if you don't have something better than toilet sounds, then you got to fuck off. Maybe go practice it in the mirror or something and come up with something. Yeah. Oh, banjo sounds. Yeah. All you got is like fucking sound. You guys suck at being trolls. You suck at being trolls. You suck at debating. You suck at life. Like, you guys just fucking suck all around. It must be fucking wild to be that mediocre, where the best thing that you can do is play toilet sounds. Everybody poops. Everybody pees. Who gives a shit? You guys are fucking weird. Fucking weird. Really? And you too? Really, Kingy? You know what? That's fine. I got something for you because I know you're a loyal follower, right? I'm going to block you. I know how much you like coming in here. And since you decided to do that, I'm going to actually block you. So now you won't even be able to rage chat in the chat anymore. I've seen you so many times crying in my chat, and now you don't even get to cry in the chat anymore because now you're blocked. Guys, he literally follows me. He's a Trump supporter that literally follows me, and every single day he obsessively comes in the live and he spams in the live. MAGA loves me so fucking much. You know what's funny? This is what's actually funny. This is what's actually funny. They swear that they hate me, but they show up every fucking day to watch me. They swear that they hate me, but they show up every fucking day to watch me. I don't know. I don't watch shit that I don't like. I don't know. I don't know. That's a sad existence. And if we're gonna be real, all it is they want love, right? They want friendship. They want to feel heard and want someone to care about them. And sure, I can care about you, Bob. I just need you to be better. Like this person here. I need you to be better. Hey, if you don't have anything better than what you're doing, then what's the point of you being here? Again, like, these guys suck so bad. And you know what's funny? They wonder why. They wonder why women don't like them. They wonder why women wouldn't touch them with a 100-foot pole. But women are the problem. They get mad. Well, they're just gold diggers. All they care about is money. They want a 6'6", this and that. No, you're just fucking weird. And you creep them out. And you give them grapist vibes. And they have to do things like fucking cover up their drinks when they're around you. And they have to keep their keys in their hands because they don't want you near them. Oh, that reminds me what I wanted to share with you guys. Oh, this is important. Hold on 1 second. Okay. All right. This is something that I learned yesterday, and I am more than positive. Really quick. If you are a straight man, a straight man in the chat right now, come up. I need a couple of straight men. Hey, Sarah, that was in chat for Sarah. Thank you so much for the galaxy. I need a couple of straight men doubling down. Let's fucking go, Sarah. If you are a straight man that lives in the US, straight man lives in the US, I need you to request up. Straight man, live in the US, request up. I don't know if I want you, Jared, because I think you might actually trip me up on this one, but I'm gonna bring you up anyway, just because I want to test your knowledge on this. I didn't mean to bring this ass up. Like it's bouncing around. Let me do it from my phone so I don't get these trolls.
Can you hear me, Santana?
I can. Hold on one second, though.
Okay.
I want to bring you up. And I want to bring you up. And I want to bring you up. Okay. All right. Perfect. All right. I'm going to start at the top. Jeremy.
Yes. Can you hear me?
Yeah. What's your age, your race, and what part of the country do you live in?
I'm 49. I'm white, and I live in Ohio.
Okay. Perfect. 1 second. Let's see here. Dr. Mitchell, what's your age, race, and what part of the country do you live in?
I'm 34. I'm white, basically, and I live in the Midwest.
Okay, perfect. The Frank, what's your age, race, and which part of the country do you live in?
I'm 48. I live in New Jersey.
Okay,
and my
perfect.
race is black.
Perfect. And Jared, age, race, and what part of the country do you live in?
Unfortunately, 41, white, and Illinois.
Okay, perfect. All right, I need everybody off mute for a second and say yes if you know the answer to this question. Do you know what an angel shot is?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
No.
All right. Okay. All right. So the Frank and Jared go on mute. All right. Dr. Michael and Jeremy. All right. Both of you. 1 second here. Jeremy, what is an angel shot?
An angel shot is a drink that a woman can order at a bar if she feels uncomfortable, like with the situation or a certain individual.
Okay. Perfect. 1 second. Dr. Michael, did you know that?
Yes.
Okay. Perfect. What is it called to have an angel shot? Or I'm sorry, what are they, what's the request for the angel shot if it's neat?
That I do not know.
Okay, go on mute for me. Jeremy, what is the angel shot if it's neat?
No, I'm the one that said I do not know.
Oh, I'm sorry. Dr. Michael, what's the angel shot if it's neat? Go mute for me, Jeremy.
I actually don't know either. I'm just aware of the angel shot.
Okay, perfect. Go on mute for me. All right. Now, can I get one woman to request up for me? Just one woman to request up for me that knows about angel shots. Oh, dang it. It jumped on me. I don't know who I brought up. Yeah, I didn't mean to bring this person up. It says that guy. All right. Hi, is it Binyami?
Oh, no, it's just Benjamin, man. You can call me Benji, though. It's a lot easier.
Oh, I'm sorry. I couldn't see the whole thing.
Nah, it's cool, man. It's cool.
I'm sorry. I don't think I was are you a woman?
Nah, I'll be honest. I was just trying to like this.
Okay. I need one woman to hop up here for me just for a second that knows what an angel shot is. One woman. Hey, Kyla, do you know what an angel shot is?
Yes, I do.
Okay. Do you know what an angel shot is if it's requested neat?
Yes, to walk you to your car. Have someone help walk you to your car.
What about on the rocks?
That means to call like a taxi or a rideshare.
What about if it's with a lime or a twist?
Call the police.
Perfect. How long have you known about angel shots?
Since I was in my 20s and I'm 37.
Have you ever had to utilize the code for angel shots?
Yes, once I neat.
Neat, really? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You know, something that I always find super interesting, and Jared, the Frank, Dr. Michael, Jeremy, thank you guys for coming up. I'm gonna drop you down, and Kayla, if you got a few minutes, I would like to talk to you, if you don't mind.
Sure.
All right, guys, thank you for coming up and playing. Don't worry, if this was before last night, I would have completely failed as well. So don't feel bad, but listen, this is important. I'm gonna drop you guys down. So Kayla.
Yes.
The interesting thing to me, right, is the necessity for this, right? So I learned about this yesterday. I was scrolling the old Bird app, right, and I saw a video of people talking about it. And it was a lady that she was recording herself, and she was at the bar, and she, asked the bartender if there was one of those little cover things that they have for drinks. Because she said there was this creepy guy that kept following her around and whatever, and he told her about angel shots. And I found that to be super interesting. One, because not only did I not know about this, and I consider myself someone that tries to always be, an actual accomplice with women, right, or femme presenting people, and it's such male privilege that I don't have to worry about learning these codes or know these things. And it's so fucking wild that you all have to like know these and live these and know these things from an early age.
Yeah. And you said it earlier, it's like when you have to put your keys inside your fingers. I learned that at like 15 years old in high school. Yeah. Women live in this world where you have to protect yourself because you don't know who's trustworthy around you. Yeah. And so it's always like on the side of caution. The angel shot thing when I was in college was put up in the inside door of women's bathrooms. So at bars and things like that.
That's so wild. Like, that's so wild. I've never once like been in a bar or a party or whatever and ever thought about my drink. The only thing I think about my drink is because like I'm a germaphobe or whatever, and I don't want someone to accidentally drink out of my cup or whatever. Like, and that's what I've never thought about someone putting something in my cup. It's just so wild. So
I'm pretty sure they have certain nail polishes where if you can dip it in your drink, it'll tell you if someone put something in there. It'll change colors.
But like the fucked up part is, why do we have to do this? Like, why do we have to go so extreme? You have to make up nail polishes that change if someone's actually dropped something in your drink. You have to have these special covers to put on it or secret code because like men, we really are the ones that actually cause the most harm in multiple ways, and not just to women, right? We cause the most harm to women, to children, and to men.
Yeah.
Like, it's fucking wild.
Yeah, and this world is wild now because the scapegoating of like trans people and stuff when men are the problem.
Yeah.
I would be way more afraid of a MAGA man than I would be a transgender woman in the women's bathroom. But they don't want to. The cognitive dissonance of them thinking they're the protectors of women and they're what keep us safe. And the fact is that we are all living in a constant state of awareness of what's around you.
Yeah. And the fact that women have to do this to such an extreme versus men is like, it's mind blowing. It's so mind blowing to me. And again, like, I feel bad for not realizing this because I grew up, I have 4 older sisters, I have my mom, and I didn't start to realize like my privilege until I started having conversations with my wife, which was, my girlfriend at that time, and just hearing about some of her experiences and the other things. And I was like, holy shit, guys do that? Yeah. Like, have you ever had a guy, say, hey, can I get your number? And you said no, and then he like start cursing you out?
Oh yeah. You're a bitch. You just don't, what you think you're too good for me. It wouldn't even matter the reasoning. Like, certainly, especially when guys get a little bit of alcohol in their system. We're talking college girls, things like that.
That's that false courage.
Uh-huh. Yeah, and it's an ego thing.
What you mean, the fragile ego? Is that what you're talking about? Yeah,
that's exactly what I'm talking about.
We all have them. Us men. I've said this yesterday, and I truly mean it. The most fragile thing on earth is the male ego, Like it's
absolutely.
super fragile.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm actually a mental health therapist. So I see this a lot.
Because
And
I could use some time on the couch. I am not doing well.
okay, what's going on?
Just messing with you. I'm just messing.
I'm always open. But yeah.
No, I hide my issues in alcohol. Anyway, you were saying.
No. It's just the male ego, and then they get tough. And I'm always around it. I live it, and it's interesting to see it in couples therapy, in different aspects. And the hardest part is when it's called out on them. Then it goes into a very strong defensiveness instead of hearing that, because it is so fragile.
Yeah, it's always super interesting to me. And I know the reason why I try to make sure that I always say we and talking about men and never men is because I always have to check myself and remember that I do the same things. And I feel like in the position that I know that I do the same things, I can see it and I can call it out. And it's always interesting to me in the stark contrast when it comes to men and women with their egos. But then for some reason, women are the ones that are emotional or don't have the ability to do things because they're always going to be like this, that, or the third. It's always super interesting to hear that.
Yeah, we especially talk about that with leadership, right? A woman couldn't do it because she's too emotional or all the bullshit excuses. Yeah. When the reality is the most dangerous emotion unregulated is anger, and men are consistently more angry.
Yeah. And we don't know how to deal with it. And so we take our emotions, we ball them up, and we do. I know I made a whole joke about alcohol, but you have men who do that. They bury their emotions in alcohol or substance, or even the gym, right? They think they can hide their feelings in their muscles. And then at certain points, it snaps and it comes out in the most unhealthiest ways. And that's why, men lead in violence and substance abuse and trying to harm themselves, is because we don't properly deal with our emotions. And that's why our ego is so fragile. And that's why we react the way that we do. That's why we can't handle rejection. If a woman tells a man no, you would think that they just talked about their mama. It's so insane.
Yeah. Oh, and it's because they think, it's also a power thing. So they think they are entitled to the affection or the desire of women. Yeah. That they don't, it's not something that has to be earned. It's something you're entitled to. So when a woman says no, they don't think you have that right.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. Anyway, listen, thank you so much for coming up. I just thought not only did I think that was something important to talk about with the angel shots, because I saw that and I was like, I need to share this with my chat. I think it's fascinating on so many different levels, in the sense that how we take things for granted. But I think in talking about the entire scope, as far as people realizing their privileges and being able to admit it, because everyone has some level of privilege or whatever. And I think it's important for us to always keep those in check and recognize them. And so this was just an opportunity for me to recognize my privilege in public, and then talk to people about something that's important. So.
And I was thinking the same thing. That is privilege. And recognizing white privilege, recognizing those things, and not seeing it as something you have to fight against and defend yourself against, but something you recognize and learn from.
Yeah, for sure. Anyway, thank you for coming up. I appreciate you so much.
You're welcome. Thanks, Santana. I love your life.
Wait. Got a question for you.
Yeah.
You like magic?
What?
You like magic?
Yes.
Thank you, Frank.
Thanks.
W's in the chat for Kayla. Thank you so much for coming up, Kayla. You're fucking awesome. Yeah, so for anyone who had whatever, Dwayne, come on now. It would be I would be leaning into misogyny if I didn't show her magic. That would be very misogynistic of me. Am I wrong? Chat. That would be very misogynistic of me if I didn't show her magic. Keep it funky. No, W's in the chat for Kayla. Thank you so much. I just thought that was super important, because when I saw that yesterday, I was like, one, I absolutely want to share that with my chat. But two, It's something that I think would benefit a lot of people. So for any women that don't know or who has never heard of it, again, one more time, it's called an angel shot. And if you say that you need an angel shot, then that means that there's a creepy guy that won't leave you alone, and it notifies the bartender of the guy. If you want it neat, then that means you want someone from the bar to walk. You can say, hey, I want an angel shot neat. They'll walk you to your car to make sure that you get there safe and no one bothers you. If you say, I want an angel shot on the rocks, then they will call you an Uber or a taxi or whatever, and then walk you to the Uber and taxi and make sure you're safe. Or if you say, hey, I want an angel shot with a lime or a twist, then they will call the cops because it's dangerous. That's the red alert. So if you are someone that partakes in libation and you actually, go out and shake your bum or whatever, and you ever get in a situation where you feel unsafe, most bartenders know this. This is something that you can absolutely have and know. So, yep. DV victims can call 911 and order pizza. Is that an actual code for DV victims? I didn't know that. That's fucking wild. Wild. Man. W's in the chat for I'm just ran for the $2 donation saying sharing our codes. Be safe, ladies. And oh fuck, I didn't even think about that. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I didn't even think about that. You're absolutely right. Sorry. W's in the chat for LV who said sent a $5 donation saying you should do more viewer inclusive activities. What do you mean viewer inclusive activities? I mean, you guys want to hang out with me? Because if you guys do, we can all go to CC's Pizza together. My treat. We can all go to CC's Pizza together. Is that what you mean? Okay, everybody meet me at CC's. And if you don't know what CC's is, then you're lost. W's in the chat for Jessica for the $5 donation saying, another therapist here, when I have my clients talking about dusty, crusty men, my favorite thing to say is, this man has severely overestimated his market value, and I'm curious how much he convinced you of this as well. God damn. Yes. I'm gonna say this. You guys remember the trend where like everyone is talking about like a high value man? What's a high value man? Oh, a high value man. Fucking nerds. Oh, I'm a high value man. You gotta do. I make 6 figures. I'm a high value man. I ain't got no kids. I'm a high value. If you don't sit your ass down, fucking crumb bum. I don't know. All right, chat. Shit, really quick. Hold on. Follow the backup account. Follow the backup account. Follow the backup account. Please. Follow backup. Follow the main account as well. 1.2 thousand of us hanging out here. Hit that follow button. We're trying to get up to 80,000 followers. Follow the main account. If you see the follow, you're not following me, hit the follow button, send your daily heart me, turn on notifications, follow this account, but follow the backup account. Follow both of them. Let me know when you follow both of them. What we're going to do, I think we're out of, I don't know if we're actually out of ops. Like there's people in the request. I think I've muddied the water so much. I don't know who's here, who's not here, but we're just going to hit a quick reset and we're going to go to the backup. The backup's right here. This one. This is the backup with the pin message. The pin message. Got it? We're going to go to the backup. Now, just chat, just FYI, I need you guys locked in when we get to the backup because shit's going to get wicked. You know how they are when we're on the backup. You know how they get when we're on the backup. So when we get on the backup, I need everybody tapping the screen, knocking out the daily gift gold, sending your heart me's, engaging in the chat. I'm telling you, you guys know how they get when we go to the backup. They get fucking weird. They crash out, they slur, they do all the fucking things. So, like when we get to the backup, I need you guys locked in. Can we do that? Can you assure me that when we get to the backup, you guys are going to be locked in? Because if not, I'm going to go watch anime. Okay. All right. You got.
I do want to show a 1 minute clip of what he says, basically. Trump. I don't know if everybody saw this, but I do want to show. I feel like it is very important. If I could get the big screen, Smitty, if that's okay.
Yeah.
It's just 1 minute. It's from his, there we go.
And while you're ready and Covey, I just wanted to say, Smitty, I'm just going to drop because I want to hear other voices. Thank you so much for having me on the panel. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
Okay, so I just want to show this, by the way, for everybody who's saying it's not racial. Let's hear what he says.
Illegal aliens said.
Tag team back again. Back it up. YouTubes, welcome back. We're gonna go Ray Parker, and we're gonna see if we can do a little co-host. All right, guys. 1.1 thousand of us hanging out here. W's in chat for Chase. What up, Chase? Chase in a $5 donation saying flying out to get some CCs. Chase, did you know that $5 would get you some CCs? Not gonna hold you. W's in chat for Jared for the $1 donation saying Santana, let's hit up CCs or sushi. I bet I could eat some. Bet you can eat. I fucking love sushi. And if you throw down the gauntlet, I would smoke you. You're not trying to see me with sushi. Parker's resetting. Oh, he lost guest access. Dang it. He's texting me back now. Let's see what he's saying. 45, 47. Okay. Oh, okay. We're gonna give him a few minutes. Okay. All right. Really quick. There's a bunch of people in the box. I'm gonna do this really quick. I'm gonna clear the box, right? And if you're a Trump supporter, get in the box. If you are someone that supports Jimothy, if you currently support Jimothy, Donald Jimothy Trump, get in the box. We're looking for one other debate. If you're here, we're looking for one other debate. If you're a Trump supporter and you disagree with anything on the background, or if you just disagree with anything on the background, get in the box. You know where I got Jimothy from? The Office. Literally The Office. He was like, Jimmy, Jimothy. Hey, Gucci. Yep, fucking love The Office. I know where you got 45 through 47 from. Where, Bub? From which circle of Dante's Inferno? Actually, I'm sure Trump supporters don't know what Dante's Inferno is because they don't read. They don't weed. Yep. All about the Benjamins. Absolutely. I was thinking about like, Trump. Sorry. Got it. 45, 47. 45, 47. 45. Oh, okay. All right, guys. Let's go Ray Parker and show him some love.
You stepped in the box. Now you're in the ring. Ain't no hugs here. You better take your best swing. Mike Hot, who wanna step in the flame? This ain't a debate, this a mind game. Facts type lies, get left in chain. One wrong word, get slapped out. I love you more. This ain't TikTok, this a war zone talk. No script, no filter, no safe walk. Great stats and get scrambled like a glitch. I got fire in my mouth like I came from the pit.
Hey. W's in chat for the chat. W's in chat for the chat. You guys are awesome. We're gonna go Ray Parker, hang out with him for a little while. So don't meet me there, be me there. Don't meet me there, be me there. That was in chat for H and everyone. Holy shit. Tarita, thank you so much for the $10 donation. Saying I took a mental health day today, so it's for the anniversary of my sister's passing. I'm so sorry to hear that. But I wasn't quite sure what to do with myself. Thank you in the chat for helping me feel less lonely today. Thank you for being such an ally and championing for women in leadership. That's absolutely time. It absolutely is time. I hope you find a little bit of peace today. Do something nice for yourself. Do something that your sister would have enjoyed. That's the best way to celebrate today. Take some time to do something that she would have loved. That's the best way for you to honor her memory. And I hope you find peace. Guys, you guys are fucking awesome. I love you all. I will see you all over on Parker's Live. Thank you for all the gifts, the taps, the likes, the shares. Thank you all for being so fucking amazing. I love each and every one of you. I love you all. I do. I love you all. And as all